on time. Yes. So how many of you have attended the last two sessions? Tell me one or two if you have attended one or two or none of the sessions. Tell me zero, one or two. Tell me zero, one or two. Oh, there are some people who have not attended any of the sessions. That's strange. Hmm, cool. So we will also send you a link so that all of you are able to go ahead and watch the recordings whenever they are available. So let me just go ahead and start this. Yes, it is on YouTube today. You should be able to find the link. I think we are hitting the limit around 100. Let me see what is happening here. Let me see the Zoom account. Just give me 1 minute, guys. I think we are hitting the limit around 100. There are other people who are looking to join but not able to join. Just give me a moment. Let me update this plan. Yes, just give me a moment, everyone. I'll just go ahead and configure and start the session in just a moment. Okay, cool. So, everyone, we are creating a repository of all the sessions along with the resources. That would be shared with you after the session on Saturday has ended. Okay, so that even after you have completed this program, you still have access to all the resources at neat one place. This will require all the, I would say, case studies, all the things that we have discussed in the session. Cool. Now we can see more people. Yes, sure. Yes. So now we are on time. Let me go ahead and start the session. I will start sharing my screen. Tell me in the chat once you start looking at my screen. Once my screen is visible, just tell me yes in the chat. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Yes, everyone. So, first of all, I'll tell you where we are in our SOP 25 right now, and then what is going to be the agenda for today, and how we are going to take today's session, and how will we go forward in the program. Okay. So, in the first session, we talked about the product management lifecycle So I have shown you as a product manager, how as a product manager, you are able to connect the business needs, the user needs, the market needs, and understanding from your stakeholders, partners, and data, okay, into a bucket. Then you validate and research on these ideas. Once you do your research, then you have data to prioritize. Right? For the prioritization, I've also given you a framework. Once you have collected the ideas, you have understood the problems, you have validated them, you have researched them, then you have prioritized them, then you will end up having something called as a product roadmap. And once you have the product roadmap, you are going to break it down into more detailed parts, which will be called as a product backlog. And then from the product backlog, you are going to take weekly or monthly tasks. You are going to call it a sprint backlog. In the sprint backlog, your developers, your designers, your testers are going to work in order to build the product. Once it is done, we are going to go ahead and create a go-to-market plan with our sales and our marketing team. And once it is done, the product will be launched to the users, and the users will again give you the feedback, and the cycle will repeat. Okay. And we can divide all of these things into three parts. Okay. The first part is this part where you are doing the research and you are understanding what to build, you are deciding what to build, is called as product discovery. The second part, where you go ahead and create the thing, you build the product with your sales and marketing team, that is called as product delivery. And the third part, where you are actually going ahead and shipping the things to the customer and distributing things to the customer, that is called as product distribution. Right? So these are the three parts. I have already covered this in a lot more detail. The video is also present on YouTube, so you guys can always go ahead and watch it over there. Okay. After that, we also talk about something called as a product sense. In product sense, I have told you, I have given you a framework through which you can understand how to build products. Okay. So let me show you that. Yes. So this was the chart that I was explaining you right now. This was the chart that I was explaining you right now, the flow. And then eventually I introduce you to the product sense stack. In the product sense stack, we have six pillars. We have six pillars and we have three levels. Every product manager, even if you are a beginner product manager, you have to understand the user. You have to understand what is happening in the market. For that, you need to understand the psychology of the user. You need to consciously make sure that you are able to understand who the user is, what they know, and you want to uncover their latent needs. Similarly, for market research, you need to understand what your ecosystem is, what are the competitors doing, and what are the gaps and opportunities that are present in the market. This is the bare minimum that you have to do as a product manager. Now, as you go ahead, you also develop the data acumen. You also develop the business acumen to make sure that this particular opportunity is actually something that can be pursued, that is backed by data, and that is also relevant for your business. Right? And the last part is then you are ready for execution. You work with, so you have understood the problem, you have understood how it is relevant for your business. Now you are going to create the solutions in terms of tech and design. You are going to talk about usability, feasibility, scoping, and then you are going to execute this particular plan. If you are a product manager, who only thinks about tech design and execution, then you will end up creating mediocre products and you will end up becoming something called as a feature factory. What is a feature factory? Feature factory is feature factory is that you will keep on creating the products and features one after the other, but the features might not be helpful for the users because the foundation of user empathy and market awareness is lacking. And if you only do user empathy and market understanding, you might not be able to create products that are actually helpful for your audience, and you might not be able to convert your ideas into full-fledged scaled products. So all of these three levels are important. You cannot become a great product manager or build any substantial product without understanding all of these three levels and all of the six pillars. Right. And in the case, in the same class, I have given you multiple examples from No Broker, from Meta, from Facebook, and also from Lovable. And I have given you a product sense example from this company called as D. Okay. If anyone has missed on these sessions, you can always go to the YouTube channel in order to watch that then. Right. After that, in the last class, we have talked about proof of work. So now you have got your product sense. How do you show to the world that you know product management? Right? How do you show to the world that you know product management? So there we have talked about first was this slide that you know about product management. Now you ask someone that I want to become a product manager at your company, and they tell you, ask you why. And then you tell that I am passionate about it. I have done courses, I have done certifications, and I have gone ahead and read multiple books. But these people do not cannot care enough about, cannot care less about the same. That is why you need to showcase your skills. How to showcase your skills? I have already given you a framework or a set of steps that will help you prove to the world that you can do product management. I have given you things on the basis of different difficulties. You can conduct market research and write content to help people understand that you know about this domain. I've given you enough examples. You can also do product tear down case studies. So you can pick up the product, you can understand how the product works, and you can explain it to some other person in a third party way. Similarly, you can also pick products and you can actually suggest improvements to these products, right? Then you can do side projects, which is the ultimate thing. And eventually, if you are already a product manager, if you have worked in the adjacent product role, you might have also created some products. So you can go ahead and always participate in these. You can also showcase this as your proof of work. Understand? Proof of work is very important because if someone does not know if you can do product management or not, they will not be able to go ahead and hire. Okay. And I have given you a lot of resources about how to go ahead and do all of these things. I have also given you a side project stack, which talks about multiple stages of creating a side project and what are the tools that you can use in the same. Right. So this is what we have done in the last session. I have also told you how to create a portfolio. This session is also present on YouTube. You should go ahead and definitely watch that. Okay. Now, in today's session, I am going to take your questions. Today's session does not hold any agenda. It is just an AMA. Whatever we have learned so far, whatever problem that you are facing in life while transitioning to product management, you can go ahead and ask me any kind of questions that you might have. What we will do is, I will right now share with you a Google form. In that Google form, I will give you 5 minutes to put any questions that you might have. After 5 minutes, I will start picking up the questions and then you can go ahead and start answering the questions. Tell me ready in the chat if you guys are ready with your questions so that I can go ahead and start giving you the Google form. Amazing. Amazing. So let me just go ahead and give you that Google. Just give me a moment. Yes. So I have just shared. Just give me a moment. So I have shared the link in the chat. Everyone, please go ahead and do this. I will also post this in the YouTube chat. Yes, I will also go ahead and create a QR code out of this. I have shared a QR code on the screen. In case someone wants to scan this, they can scan and they can also put your questions in the same Google form. Okay. So I will give you exactly 5 minutes to put your questions. Yes. I'll exactly give you 5 minutes to put your questions. People can scan this particular QR code in order to put your questions. Yes. If you are on YouTube, you can write done in the chat. Once you are done pasting your questions on Zoom, I can see the chat. Everyone, 2 more minutes. You can go to, everyone is able to see the screen where the QR code is there. So if you have just joined, you can just scan the QR code and put your questions there. You have 2 more minutes, guys, before I go ahead and stop this link. We have already received 130 7 entries so far, 140 now. Yes, the last minute, guys. This is the last minute, last 60 seconds. I will stop the questions after that. Cool. We are right on time. Let me go ahead and stop that. Cool. I hope everyone was able to submit their questions. Let me go ahead and stop the form right now. Cool. Let me go ahead and start taking the questions. Okay. A quick ready in the chat if you are ready for this, guys. If you are ready for the Q&A session, we have 198 questions today. We have 198 questions today. Tell me ready in the chat if you are ready for this. Guys, please stop spamming. Wonderful. So, also, one more important announcement. We are live with the case study competition. We are live with the case study competition on Unstop. So, in case you guys are looking to participate in the case study competition, you can also go ahead and do the same. That is a fantastic way to create your proof of work. Let me share this link with you. So I've shared the link in the chat for the case study competition as well. Okay. You can save the link and you can register later. Right now, you need to focus on the session. Cool. Right. So we have total of 198 questions today. Yes, we have total of 198 questions today. Everyone, even if this is not your question that you have written, if you have written questions for later, make sure that you are focusing on the session because many of the questions are going to be repeated. So I'll answer them once and you need to make sure that you are listening to them carefully. Okay. Now, with that being said, the first question that we have is from Sai. Sai is 10 to 15 experience product owner and he has attended both the sessions. If we want to work in fintech, how do we build real-time proof of work in the relative area? Research. So the first question is how to build domain expertise or domain knowledge, right? I will give you the three-step method. The number one step is research. Go to Google and run deep research on Chat GPT. I am talking about deep research. Okay. Just ask it that I am really interested in becoming a product manager in this particular industry. You go ahead and conduct a deep research in order to help me create a playbook so that I'm able to understand at least a 101 of the industry. Okay. And ask it to ask you any follow-up question that it might have. With follow-up questions, it will be able to give you a better results. Okay. So that is the first part. You should do this. Okay. This is the first part. You can also tweak your prompt. You can also go to, once you have done with ChatGPT, you can go to Claude. You can go to other tools such as Perplexity in order to do the same. The second part is go ahead, understand the industry by yourself, which is take 5 to 10 top players in the industry. If you're talking about fintech, understand what are the different kind of things that are happening in fintech. So let's say if I have to break fintech, I can break it down into people who are looking to lend, which is the debt, people who are looking to invest, let's say in equity, people who are just platforms to enable both of these players. Now I can say that in lending, we have multiple players. In lending, we have Bajaj Finance, we have multiple banks. So I can categorize them into official banks, and I can also go ahead and categorize them into, don't spam the group, guys. Yes. I can also categorize them into NBFCs and maybe non-NBFCs. Okay. After that, some are platforms such as Paytm, ClearText, multiple who enable you to go ahead and invest money. And then there are equity research firms such as Motilal Oswal, and there are other firms as well. Okay, there is Zerodha, which also gives you a platform. So now you can go ahead, pick up major players in every category, and then you can go ahead and do the research on the same, as in from a perspective of a product manager. What are the user problems? How this product is unique? How they are solving the problem? What are their issues? What are their gaps? What are their strengths? You can do all of this research that I've told you in the market research part. Okay, this is the second part. Now comes the third part. Third part is connect with people. Connect with people as in people who are already in this industry. So you already have a list of people who are working in, like you already have a list of companies who are working in this industry. Go to LinkedIn, put up a filter of that company, and search for product managers. You should be able to find a lot of people. After that, you find people, you send them a LinkedIn message saying that I am looking to understand more about this domain. And I believe that you are already an expert in that domain. Would you be kind enough to go ahead and give me maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes of your time, or maybe 20 minutes of your time? Okay. I'll be available in a slot whenever you are also available. Okay. And then you can also tell them that if they want to get compensated for the time that they are investing, you are okay to do the same. You will understand most of the times that once you are offering someone to pay money, they understand that you are looking to respect their time. And most of the time, I have seen that even if I have offered some people some money in order for their consultation and for their help, they have almost never taken the money. Okay, if people take it, that's very good. Most of the time, you'll find many kind people. You just have to show that you are respecting their time. Okay, and once you have this understanding, then you are ready to have an in-depth, and you already have an in-depth understanding of that particular domain. Now you have to go ahead and apply at multiple companies in order to make sure that whether your understanding is good enough or not, and then you have to iterate on all of these. Okay, so that is the answer for the first question, which is, if I want to work in fintech, how do we build a proof of work in the related area? First, understand how to break, how to talk to people, how to, let's say, build your connections in that. And then you'll understand that what is the kind of proof of work that you should develop. And I have already told you in the last session How do you exactly develop the proof of work? So I've told you the roadmap till you find that particular proof of work so that you are able to build a domain matter expertise. Yes. I hope that answers your question, Sai. Hmm. Thank you. Cool. After that, the second question is not there. Third question is not there. Then I have a question from Gaurav who says that what percentage of product role available are remote? There are I'm not sure about the percentage, but very less. It is very rare to see a product manager role which is remote. If the company is completely remote, then it's a different thing. For example, GitLab, GitHub, Software, these are the companies which are completely remote. In India, there are not a lot of companies which are completely remote. Even if a company is hybrid, we have seen many people want to call their product managers to the office. Okay. So unless you have some experience and company has good reason to give you the comfort of staying at home, you might not be able to find many remote jobs in product management companies. If you're looking to find product management jobs in remote companies, it's not, I would say, difficult. It's not impossible, but it is a bit more difficult than finding a developer role in a remote setting. Okay. But if you want to find that, go to websites such as Remote OK, Y Combinator slash company slash jobs. Okay. There are multiple other companies which should be able to go ahead and give you this facility. But understand, a remote job is a privilege. And privilege is only for people who have actually proven their skills at work. So if you're hardworking, if you know what you are doing, then you have higher chances of getting a remote work. So if in the long run you have to want a remote job, you have to prove your skills right now so that eventually you can go ahead and get a remote job. Right. Correct. So if the company is fully remote, you can work remotely. If the company is hybrid, more likely they are going to go ahead and call you at office. But in the long run, if you work really well, you can definitely go ahead and get a remote job. I hope that answers your question. Then we have a question from Vaishali. Vaishali has a question which she cannot write. Okay, that's okay. Then we have a question from Kavya. Okay, let me remove all of these things so that we are able to see everything on one page. Cool. Kavya has a question that how do I go about applying what you have learned? How do you go about applying what you have learned, the principle, the methodology while going about a product, this competition product you have done? What is the structure of model? Okay. So guys, there is no particular structure. Okay. You have to act like water. Okay. Water takes the shape of the vessel. I can tell you there are 5 or 10 types of problem statements. And then you have to think according to this problem statement. Okay. But understand, a good problem solver can solve the problem even when there is no structure. Okay. So that is a paradox. If I give you the structure of the problem that you have to solve, then by the act of giving the structure, you will not be able to, like, that problem is not actually difficult now. If I can give a structure to the solution of that problem. Okay. So always understand, if anyone gives you any kind of problem statement as a product manager, the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what are we trying to do here? And what is the problem? You have to spend time with the problem statement. Most of the time, people make a mistake that they do not understand the problem statement in detail. After that, break down the problem statement into small parts. Okay. Let's say when I was working at Cheetos, we were facing a problem that out of 100 people who join the app every day, only 30% people were coming on the next day. That is a problem. So now with that problem, I could have gone into multiple things. Okay, so what I've done is I've understood where these people are coming from. I have talked to a few people. I have looked at the analytics in order to understand the whole funnel. Then I was able to understand that maybe the people who are coming to the platform, they are actually coming from a wrong marketing message. Or maybe there is a problem that whatever offering we had on the website, they were not interested in the same. Or could be whatever purpose that they came on for the app, uh, on the app, that purpose was actually solved in day one only. So they don't have any reason to come back. Okay. And also we were not able to inform them in advance as in why should they come to the app on the next day. We were not giving them notification. So you can look at the problem statement, then understand what could be the root causes of these problem statement. and then go ahead and solve them. Okay, a checklist could be understand the users, understand the business, understand the problem that these both of these are facing, then prioritize the problems, then come up with the solution for the prioritized problems, then prioritize the solutions, and then give the guidance. Yes. Then we have a question from Anonymous. If I'm a beginner in product management, how do I dice and product? Okay, so this is I have answered in the first section. Okay, you have to ask yourself, what is the problem that the product solves? Or what is the problem that the people are facing? You have to do the research. Once you have understood all of these things, then you go ahead and go deeper, become more focused, understand the problem really well, craft your solutions, prioritize them, and then develop them. Okay, please rewatch the first session in order to get this answer. How can a fresher start this his career to become a PM? Okay, very interesting questions. Very interesting question. Step number one: understand what is PM. Don't jump into PM without understanding PM. How do you understand? First, go through at least 20 job listings for product managers. After that, you can also go to this website called as HelloPM.co. In the website, we have mentioned the whole curriculum. These are also the skills that you want, no matter you want to take the course or not. But the curriculum will definitely go ahead and help you out. Okay. We have done a lot of research before creating the curriculum. So first is understand PM. Second is learn product management. Now there are so many resources that are available. You can consider courses, programs, cohorts, books, learning by your own in order to learn product management. Once you have learned product management, you have to now you have learned product management. How do you prove to people that you know product management? So you have to create your proof of work. Once you have created a proof of work, then plan your reach out. In the reach out plan, you have to create three buckets: bucket A, bucket B, bucket C. Bucket A, go to the top 10 websites in your area which offer jobs. In India, we have Naukri, InstaHire, LinkedIn, Hirist, Indeed, and multiple other platforms. On every website, create an account. And on every website, there would be an option for email alerts. And set up alerts around product manager, associate product analyst role, so that you are never missing any opportunities. Google Jobs is also a very good source. Okay. Whenever you see a job, look at your resume, improve your resume, build a strong portfolio, and send it to people. Second is, some of these companies from this list, you will see that you have better chances of getting shortlisted. Okay, so what you should do is for some of the companies, you should actually create a detailed cover letter. Detailed as in, this is who I am. So you will write the message in this template that this is who I am. I have seen this job list at your company. And these are the three reasons I believe I am a perfect fit for this. You can include your proof of work, you can include your interest, your passion, anything you want to talk about. Just mention three solid reasons why you are a good fit for this role and send it to multiple people in the company. Okay. And the third part is maybe out of all the companies that you have shortlisted, maybe 10, 20, you will believe that you have better chances of getting, even more chances of getting shortlisted. So what you should do is, to these companies, imagine that if you are the product manager at this company, what would you do in the first 6 to 12 months? Right? If you were the product manager in this company, what would you do in your first 6 to 8 months or 12 months? Articulate that, create a good case study. You can create a case study, you can create a presentation for them as a product manager because you have already understood and learned and build your proof of work. This is the fourth step. Your 3 steps should be ready before you could do this. Okay. And once you have done this, send it to multiple people in the company. Don't call it a quit before sending to at least 3 to 4 people in the company and follow up at least 3 times in 10 days before calling it a quit. If you do it for 20 companies and if you are doing a good work, I can assure you that most of the people are going to reply you. Okay, so that is how you get into product management job with being a fresher or not being a fresher, having an MBA, not having an MBA. That is a thing that is in your control. That is a thing that you earn by putting your efforts at the right place. Okay. Yes. I hope that answers the question for everyone. Yes. Everyone tell me from a scale of 1 to 5, you're able to understand this answer. This was an important and this was very relevant for all of the people in the session. Wonderful. Great. Amazing. Cool. The next question is from, thank you, Harsh, for answering, for questioning and putting this question there. I'm sure it has helped multiple people. Gaurav has a question, how to research about any market industrial, like how to start a market research. I've already given to you in the last session. Okay. Whenever you go ahead and want to study about a particular market, okay, find out what are the things that are happening in the market. Okay. First is in the market research, first you have to start with who are the major players and what are they up to. Okay. Zerodha is trying to build the number one platform for equity trading. Paytm is trying to build a number one platform for UPI based transactions. Now, in order to get UPI, you have to integrate with NPCI, you have to integrate multiple banks, how that nuances work. Okay. So you have to first answer who are the major players and what are they up to. Okay. The second part is there is a simple framework called as PESTLE framework, which talks about what are the political, economical, environmental, social, technical, legal, and economic aspects of this particular market. You can search for PESTLE frameworks on Google and you should be able to find a link. Okay. And you can also tell ChatGPT that please help me do a market research of this particular industry based on the PESTLE framework. It will give you that understanding. The third is Porter's five forces. This is also an important framework that will help you understand if a new player wants to enter a market, how they should go ahead and enter. Okay. Now, the other part is once you have done these things, after that, you only have to follow one framework, which is ask questions. Why is Paytm spending so much money in order to become the UPI leader? Why has Zerodha created an MCP for their product? Why is government forcing everyone to go cashless? Okay. Once you get into depth and you start asking questions, then you actually understand what the market is up to. Then you build the real, true appreciation for the market and real domain matter expertise. Okay. So this is how you structure a research. And in the last session, I've also given you multiple resources. Where is that? From where you can go ahead and do your market research, right? Sonali has a question that how to strengthen GTM and pricing strategy topics. Okay. So same thing, guys. Okay. I will not recommend you a book or something. I will just recommend you two things. First is look at 10 popular products in the market. First of all, even, okay, so sorry, before even point number one, consider point number zero. If you think that you will be able to become a pricing genius across the market, across the domains, across the industries, that is impossible. That does not matter. You will at max get the generic information. You will not be able to get into that. So choose a domain, choose a particular kind of product. Let's say how pricing is done in AI based products, how pricing is done in FMCG shampoos, how pricing is done in air conditioners. Okay. Start with a domain, be very specific, look at 10 popular products and try to understand their pricing strategy. First, you do your own research. Okay. and then take the help of AI tools such as ChatGPT, Notebook, LM, and all. Okay, that will help you understand the pricing strategy. Now, after that, once you have gone ahead and done this, once you have understood the basics, then if you are interested in SaaS as a domain, then my recommendation is there is a blog, there is a person called as Kyle Polar. He talks about this at length. Okay, so pricing, growth techniques for the SaaS products. There is a fantastic blog called as Growth Unhinged. Okay, there is a blog called as Growth Unhinged. You can go ahead and go through this blog in order to understand about a specific pricing strategy. Also, people have not asked this question, but I'll tell you that in case you are looking to understand the psychology behind various products, then you should also go to this website called as growth.design. In the presentation format, they are going to teach you multiple beautiful ways of dissecting the products and how people take certain kind of decisions and why it is important for you to learn in the field. Okay, so I hope that answers the question with those links. Yes. For GTM, okay, so GTM is a complex topic. I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer it this in 1 minute. I actually take a 4 hour long session on creating a GTM. It's an important topic, but I can give you three parts. First of all, read Growth Unhinged. It talks about go-to-market strategy in detail. The second part is understand the three pillars of GTM. The first pillar of GTM is the value proposition, which is what is the product, what is the problem that your product solve for the customers, and how your solution is differentiated. What is the value proposition? Why should people use you and not others? And why should it actually use you? Like, what is your value, right? The second part is what is going to be your messaging and communication. Understand you could have created the best product in the world, but if the messaging and communication is not correct, you will not be able to go ahead and build a strong distribution for your product. Okay. And the last part is what is going to be your distribution channel? How are you going to reach your target audience? If you are a digital product, you will list yourself on marketplaces, you will do social media marketing, you will run some influencer ads. If you are an FMCG product, which is on shelf, then you are going to talk about this quick commerce store and multiple other options. Okay. Start with these three things and then expand. Okay. So value proposition will also lead you to pricing. It will also lead you to problem. It will also lead you to user journeys, personas, competition, and so many other. Okay. But this is where you should go ahead and start for GTL. How can I grow to become a top 1% in product management? How can I land an international remote gift? Can I be good fit from Nigeria? Okay, so becoming 1%, the first step to becoming 1% is to know someone who is 1%. Okay, so what you need to do is, first of all, create a strong user persona of the person you believe is 1%. Okay, what are the companies that they have worked with? What is the kind of problem that you have solved? Okay, and eventually you will understand that a lot of people who are in the top 1%, they are doing more than they are supposed to do. That is a simple. They are doing more than they are supposed to do, and they are successful at it, right? So you need two things. First is you need strong decision making capabilities, and you need agency. So in order to become a 1% individual, you need to enhance your scope of work, and you need to improve your decision making capabilities. By scope, I mean you should be able to execute better, take more responsibilities. By decision, I means whatever you are doing it correctly. You take right decisions a lot. How to do this? This is a matter of intent. No one can teach you that. You have to have good intent in order to go ahead and work hard. This is also called as agency by some people, that you take ownership. You are a self starter. You go ahead and take more work that is assigned to you, or you go ahead and whatever work that is assigned to you, you do it with your 100% commitment. Right? That is the first part of becoming 1%. Second part is decision making, which is it comes with a lot of knowledge, a lot of reflection, right? Looking at people, looking at multiple products, doing conscious learning, spending time with the product, reading more about it, acquiring knowledge, learning a lot. That is how you will go ahead and build that decision making capability. Okay, so that is how you become the top 1% part. And this also answers the second questions. Become good at your skill, build proof of work, and follow the strategy that I've just told you in order to get into a job, which I've answered to Harsh. No questions as of now. Okay, Shriram, thank you. How can we change the career path after doing MBA? Currently got placed in consulting firm, but want to make a career in product management domain. Just apply for product manager roles. That's simple. If you are already in consulting, understand consulting people would not have a lot of difficult time. If you're just starting into consulting, you already have an MBA, then I don't think it will have difficult time. Follow the three-step, three-bucket strategy. Create a list of companies, apply to some through your resume, some through your portfolio, some through your proof of work, some through the proof of work for that particular company, and some through cover letters. Do that, you should be able to go ahead and transition. Not a big, not getting interview calls. I've already answered this. The three bucket strategy you need to follow, A, B, C, I've already told you in this particular diagram. Okay, this video will also be uploaded on the YouTube. So in case you missed any point, you can always go back to that video and then rewatch it. How can I get into PM from a tier 3 beach school? Yes, I've told you a process where your background does not matter. What matters is whether you have the skills or not. If you have the skills, you should be able to create a proof of work. Understand, guys? And this is like an important reflection question for everyone. If you understand, people who are in the top tier 1 colleges right now, let's say ITs, IIMs, ISPs, Harvard, Stanford, at some point of time in their life, you would agree that they have worked hard for 1 year, 2 year, whatever is the period. They have worked their asses off in order to make sure that they are able to get to that position, which has proven that these people, if needed, can go ahead and work hard. That is why most of the companies hire from great colleges because of a difficult entry criteria into these colleges. Right now, you might or might not have worked so hard in your career in the past, but everyone's quota of hard work is set. Everyone's quota of hard work is set that you have to go ahead and work this much hard. If you try to delay it in your life, you are going to delay a better life. If you try to do it as soon as possible, you are going to have a better life as soon as possible. So, what you should do is, even if you have not gone ahead and worked harder in the past in your life, take the next 1, 2 years, work your butt off, try to go ahead and gather the skills, build proof of work, build your network, reach out to people. And even if you do not get a job after this 1 year, I can assure you, you will be a different individual. So always remember, everyone's quota of hard work is already decided when they are born, right? You can either take it earlier in your life or you have to take it later in your life. But before you do that hard work, it is rare to go ahead and maybe get the benefits of that hard work. Some people could be extraordinarily lucky, but that's okay. Okay. But for you, you have to understand you have to work hard. So if you have not able to work hard during in order to get selected in the top tier 1 college, what you should now do is go ahead, work hard, acquire the skills, build proof of work, reach out to people, and follow the three-step process that I have told. Right? Everyone, a quick yes or no in the chat if you are able to understand everything that I've told you so far. Yes. Cool. Now, so there are some people who are known by their colleges, and there are some colleges which are known by the people who have studied there. You have the option because your college is already not known. You have the option to be the later part. Okay. So the next question is from Aditya, which is I'm a software engineer or a QA. What type of skill experience can I mention in experience which align with them? Okay. So I will answer this question for everyone who is from a PA or a QA or a PO or a designer or a developer. Okay. I have broken down product into three parts. The first part is product discovery. The second part is product delivery. And the third part is product distribution. In product discovery, what you do is this is a strategic role where you collaborate with users, business, you take a lot of decisions, you do a lot of prioritization, and then you build a roadmap. In delivery, you do coordination with developers, designers, QA. You have to understand the software development lifecycle. And you also need to be good with stakeholder management. And because you are working with devs and designers and everyone, you should have some understanding of tech, right? And the third part is product distribution. In product distribution, you are working with sales and marketing. You need to be good with analytics so that you are able to understand in what direction are you going. And you should also be able to understand how to go ahead and communicate the value of your work, right? So these are, let's say, some of the skills that you need at every step. Now, if I have to say, if you are, let's say there are multiple scenarios, okay. If you are a developer, okay, then product delivery is something that you are already aware of because you are a part of the delivery. You know software development life cycle, you understand the scope, you understand the feasibility, you understand the bottlenecks, you understand the sprints, you understand how user stories are at least seen, right? So this is your strength. Now you have to acquire this skill and this skill. This is your strength. This is your transferable skill. This you can showcase in your resume, right? Second is if you are a BA or if you are a product analyst or you are someone who is researching from the customer side, then you are good with some form of discovery and some form of product delivery, right? If you are a designer, then you are already working in this particular domain, right? And you already know some part of research because how can a designer be a designer without research understanding? If you are from sales and marketing, then you know this. Plus, you also, because you are a sales, marketing, or support guy, you are also connected to the customers. You also understand their domain, you also understand their problems and their issues. So create this map and then find where you can fit what skills you already have. And then you try to showcase that in your resume. Okay. If that is not understood to you, this is not understood to you, a simple exercise is go to 20 job listings for product managers, create a list of skills on the spreadsheet, and rate yourself on these skills on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 is you are very good at it and you have already done it in the past job. 3 is you know about it, but you have not done it. 1 is you don't know about it and you have not done it. Okay. If you do that, everyone should be able to find how they can transition from one role to the other. Right. So that is a one generic answer for all of these kind of questions, as in how do I transition? Cool. SQL knowledge is required for a great product manager. Even for a mediocre product manager, SQL knowledge is required. Okay. So SQL is a very simple fundamental language. I can teach you SQL in just 2 hours. Okay. If something is so simple, why are you creating a barrier in your mind that I should or I should not read it? Okay. If you look at your mobile phones, go to, if you are using Android, go to the digital well-being. Or if you are using an iPhone, go to the first screen of the phone where it is talking about screen time. I can assure you, you are all are spending more than 2 hours every day on your mobile. Just don't spend one day and learn SQL. Search for SQL tutorial, HelloPM on YouTube, or you can search for any other tutorial as well. You should be able to find a guide and a link and a 1 hour tutorial where you should be able to understand SQL. With ChatGPT, it has become even more easier to understand SQL. Okay, so the question is not whether I should or not. The question is why you shouldn't. It is such an easy, but a very, I would say, very high ROI skill. Okay, it will remove a lot of confidence from your life when you come from a non-technical background. If you know SQL, it will give you a lot of confidence in your life. Right. Why do banks these days have some features only on their mobile apps and not on their website? Why do they encourage customers to download? Okay. So guys, generally people want you to download apps because apps have better retention, right? You will see that you only use apps for things which have multiple use cases. You go to a Chrome browser, then you or any other browser, you put your content, you put your URL over there, then you go ahead and click on the login button, then you put your email, then you put your password, then an OTP comes, you put the OTP, then you put a pin, then you go to that information. Okay. And then what happens is that if you are able to refresh a page in an incorrect way, the login is going to go out. Okay. So this is a painful user journey. A better is simple mobile app which can save your logins. You can use it n number of times. And generally, when people see a icon on their mobile phone, they are more likely to go ahead and go back to it. Rather than remembering the website, going to it, typing the URL is difficult. That is why most of the companies are focusing you, pushing you to download their mobile apps because they understand that retention is the key. What other data points can one look to rate the conversion percentage available for the website? How they look? What other data points can one look at if click-through rate, conversion rate, and conversion rate are two data sets look almost identical? What is the base size? Okay. A very important thing is people look at these ratios. What is the conversion rate? What is the people who are paying us money, right? What is the conversion rate of people who are paying us money? You should always not forget about base rates. If there is one platform that is giving you 10% conversion rate, let's say if someone downloads my app from Facebook, all of the people who are coming from Facebook, 10% of them are actually paying users. And from Google, only 1% are paying users. So should I invest more on Google or should I invest more on Facebook? Okay. Someone who is looking at the surface level data, they will understand that Facebook is better because it is offering us 10% in conversion rates. But then if you dig deeper, you'll be able to understand that yes, the base at Google is actually very small. So at Google, you are talking about only 10 users. And at Facebook, you have already talking about millions of users. Okay. So you have already exhausted the limit at Facebook. So now you have to move to Google. So base matters a lot. Okay. How many people are you talking about in this particular experiment? Give me a chance to do better in this field. Okay. You have your own chance. I'm not sure how to answer this question. How to navigate the market when PM jobs are so less? Yes. I understand that PM jobs are less. But always remember, guys, you only need one job at a time, right? You only need one job at a time. You have to first make sure, forget about the jobs, the opportunities, and everything. You have to put your hand to your heart and you have to ask yourself, do I actually deserve this particular role that they are promoting? Okay. Once you work towards that deserving of that role, you are going to transform. Okay. I have talked to multiple product managers at multiple companies, and I can assure you that people are not up to the mark. And companies, at least in the first 3 months, always questions whether we have hired the right person or not. Okay. So what you need to do is first make sure that you deserve the role that you desire. Once you have all the understanding, then go ahead and apply the three bucket strategy, which is be available on 10 or more job websites, apply to multiple jobs, create a better resume, create proof of works, and then reach out to companies. Okay, there will, because product management is a very sought after responsibility. Okay, understand it has almost become like an IT or an IM division where a lot of people are applying and lot less number of people are actually getting into this. But you have to understand if 5 lakh people are giving the IT exam every day, only 50, the competition is only between 15, 60,000, 50, 60,000. Okay, everyone else is just going ahead and giving the exam. Okay, so first goal is to not crack IT, but to become the top 10% of 50, 60,000 people out there. Okay, once you do that, then you will go ahead and start to understand what could be the next step. So take one step at a time. If you had to start over PM today, the current landscape activity, what would you focus on meeting in your first year to faster make the invest impact? What should be your approach? A very simple thing is I'll just ask the company, and this is what I've done in the past also. I'll just go ahead and talk to the CEO or whoever is my manager that what do you want me to do in the first 6 months so that you are able to, let's say, 100% say that I am the rock star at the company. Just ask them what is the problem that the business is facing. Okay, they will give you some clues or they will tell you that you find out the problem. Okay, then you go ahead and look at the data, look at multiple other things in order to figure out what is important for the company. Understand? People only pay you when you are solving important problems for them. It is true for the product management as a user. It is also true for you when you are working for any company, for your employer as well. Okay, so find big, hairy, mammoth problems. Go ahead, collide with them head on, and then try to solve them. If you do that, you will be a high impact person in your organization. And never be afraid of failures. And more than failures, never be afraid of hard work. How to break to fangs if you come from no branded companies? How to portray that and improve getting an offer? Okay, so if you are looking to get into fang, generally outbound does not help a lot. If you go ahead and apply for fang most of the time without referrals, it does not matter a lot. If you are not a PM, please first get into PMs. Okay, without becoming a PM, it's very difficult to become a product manager at fang unless you are straight out of college and then you get into the APM program. The second part is there is a roadmap to get into fang, which is there are -1 companies. If people go there, they are more likely to get into fang. Okay, so a lot of our mentors, a lot of my friends are into PM, are into fang, and what they have done is mostly they were first able to get into a -1 fang company. What is -1 fang company? Companies such as Intuit, companies such as what do we call it? A good name of company, Adobe, companies such as Flipkart. Okay, there is a list of companies where if you work, you are more likely to get an inbound call or your resume is going to get higher chances of getting shortlisted. How do you get a list of these companies? Search for product manager on LinkedIn. Okay. Then in the filters, there is a more filter option. Search for Google. First do Google, then do Amazon, then do other fine companies. Okay. And then try to find out before Google where they were. And then you will go ahead and create a list of yours. Okay. So getting into -1 companies is easier. It can be done with outbound application as well. Okay. I hope that answers the question around how to get into Fang. This is coming from a lot of research that we have done while talking to our mentors who are also working into Fang. What is the vast difference between taking courses and real time working as a PMPO? What is the difference and how can I bridge the difference? Okay. So difference is generally the scope of your understanding. If you are working head on with a product problem, you will become a good problem solver. But generally, your scope is limited at work. Okay. In learning, you have a blank canvas. In a course, you are getting a structured information. Your blind spots are getting covered. Okay. So that is a major difference that in learning, you are getting breadth first understanding. While problem solving, you are getting a depth first understanding. Okay. I believe both of them are important. Okay. If you are doing only one of them, you are actually leaving some opportunity on the table. I want you to understand or know the best tools I can do market research. I've already shared the slide with you. So go to that slide. You should be able to understand that. I want to know detailed roadmap about product backlog. Okay, so that is in the first session itself, guys. You can go to that video in order to watch it. Can you guide us beyond the session? We offer a program on product management. If you guys are interested, you can go to hellopm.co in order to get more details around the same. Difference between product teardown, product. Okay, so most of the times they are the same, but if I have to tell you like a very Nazi type of difference, the difference is product teardown is understanding what is already there, explaining it so that to help people understand that you have gone ahead and understood how that product was made. What are the product decisions behind the scene? Product improvement is generally about product improvement is generally about not only understanding but also improving the particular product. So product improvement is a bit difficult than just a product teardown, but most of both of them are very helpful. Consider my strong background as a product leader in gaming, known for engagement and scaling. What's a single effective way to proactively address the perceived lack of direct experience in the first round for a strategic PM role in government life, SaaS for marketers? Okay, so simple thing. What you should do is, as a product leader, you do two things. You create the strategy, you lead the team, and then you have the domain matter expertise. Out of three things, you already have two. You are leading the teams, you are creating the strategy. Focus on that. Okay. Focus on that. Yes, I was able to already lead such a big team to such a great outcome. Okay. And I am willing to go ahead and learn about this domain itself. Okay. So you can build up the domain matter expertise by researching about it, talking to people. I have already given you the framework as a first question. Okay. The second part that you need to do is just make sure that you are able to go ahead and uh, understand what are the things that you already know that make you relevant for the next role from day one. For from my understanding, it could be your strategic understanding on your ability to lead the big team because you are already a product leader, as you have said. Cool. Everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5, if we are on the same page right now, if every question and answer has been understood to you, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5, please. Wonderful. We'll go a bit quicker now. I want to transition from a QA lead to product owner. I can make a transition portfolio showcase that I have worked on product. I have already answered this, right? So QA and product owner, I have told you the skills, and I've also told you the full framework. How can someone land his first role as a PM with no prior experience, just completing courses? No, courses completion and everything doesn't matter. You have to do projects, you have to build portfolio, you have to reach out to people. I've already told you the process, guys. Build proof of work so that people trust that you can do product management and then be proactive in reaching out to people. What other points should I highlight in my UX portfolio? Research, prioritization, and metrics. Research, prioritization, and metrics, and experimentation. Okay, if you focus on four things: research, prioritization, metrics, and experiments. If you have these sections detailed enough, people will understand that you can do things as a product manager. By research, I mean research from a perspective of a user and also from the perspective of a business. AI enhanced PM versus AI, the difference in what does someone refer to when they say AI product manager. Okay, so for this, I will share okay, so I'll share a link with you where I've explained this well. Okay, so on my LinkedIn, I have recently talked about this. I can share that link with everyone. So I will share this link so that you guys can go ahead and study in this detail. I'll share it in the chat. Plus, I will also make it available the resources section that on the YouTube description and your notes. Yes. And if someone is watching this session and they want access to all the resources, please go to the link in the chat in order to go to the Summer of Product landing page. Register yourself from there and you will get access to all the recordings and all the resources that we have shared so far. So AI enhanced PM uses AI tools in order to improve their productivity. AI PMs are people, AI applied AI PMs are people who are actually building AI products from scratch. How do product managers track the success of by metrics? How do they track success? Before they create a product, they have a hypothesis that why are we building it? Okay, we are building it for revenue or user growth or customer acquisition or retention or something else. Now, once you build it, you are going to measure whether that purpose is being fulfilled or not. That's you decide metrics and then you measure these metrics in order to measure your progress. How to create a prototype in 24 hours with free AI tools? Search for this on Google and ChatGPT. Okay, you start with Lovable. It will create a simple, like go to ChatGPT, create a PRD. Then once you have created a PRD, go ahead, put that PRD into Lovable. Once you put that PRD into Lovable, import that whole, like once that is created, you can make the tweaks in Lovable. After some period of time, you will get frustrated and you'll not be able to make changes. So at that point of time, take all of that code from GitHub, like push it to GitHub, and from GitHub, take it to Cursor and start making changes over there. Okay. But this is just you are building the product. I'm not sure if this product is going to be very helpful for people or not. For that, you have to do product thinking and product sense that I've explained in the first session. And if you are looking to be if you're an aspiring product manager, building a product to showcase your product skills, these kind of products will not be enough because you are just building products. Building is not a big task. Building product that is actually helpful for people is a big task that requires research, and 24 hours might not be enough. Yes, I have already answered this question in the second session. How can I transition from non-technical to more importantly, what's the need of the hour? Is it the need of the hour? Yes. So learn about technical thing, guys. Okay. You can search for technology for product managers uh, content on YouTube. We have a long playlist, like an old playlist where you can go ahead and understand about how to do product management as a like how to understand technology as a product manager. You can also go to, if you're looking for syllabus, you can also go to programs. On HelloPM website, you can go to programs, tech for product and business folks. And then you should be able to get the complete syllabus around this. And these are the topics that you need to learn in order to become more technical as a product manager. Does CGPA matter? For companies that are coming to placement in your colleges, some might have a cutoff, but most of the time it does not matter. I have around 5 years experience as a front-end developer, and I have good package of 25 LPA. However, I want to switch to product. How much decrease should I expect? No, you don't have to expect decrease, guys. Why would you take a lower salary? Okay, build your skills. Product managers are paid well, so you don't have to come down on salary unless you are moving to a different domain altogether, or you are not sure of your skills. Work hard, get your skills. You should be able to get a better salary. We have helped many people transition to product management from developer and front-end developers. All of them were able to get better salary. Don't rush into the transition. I'm currently in the final next year mystery with 6 subjections. I'm in the final now. I'm really motivated and want to know how would I correct. Oh, I've already answered this question. Go ahead, explore your network to get some reference. Improve your resume. If you can, build a strong proof of work. If you're already a PM, maybe proof of work might not be very helpful for you, might not be very necessary for you. Okay. Build a good resume. Start reaching out to people in your network. Create a tracker of how many jobs are you applying every day. Make your profile on at least 10 top product management job websites such as Naukri, LinkedIn, and all, and never miss a job listing that you are not applying to. Okay, but resume generally is the most important bottleneck that we have seen. And be shameless about reaching out to your network. You only can stop this once you have multiple offers. I'm a fresher, pass out from college, and interested in AI, so I'm eligible. How can I have do so? I can have internship. Explore, read, watch podcast. Ask yourself if this is something that I can do for the rest of my life, and put your blood and your soul and your hard work into the same. What is the future of AI plus PM? I've already answered this. AI is already enabling a lot of PMs, and in the future, you as a product manager are expected to deliver more because now you have a superpower of an AI with you. Okay, so less dependence on developers for experimentation, less to and fro in terms of prioritization, and you need to understand how to build AI product, which is RAGs, evaluations, and also you need to understand how to build prototypes quickly so that you are able to save a lot of time for your team. 30 days plan to crack PM interview. I don't have a 30 days plan to crack a PM interview, but in the next session, I'll talk about cracking the PM interviews in a bit more detail. Okay, cool. So we have answered 50, okay, 49 questions. Let me take the 51. How to evaluate proof of work and how to improve it. Okay. So method number one to evaluate proof of work is do a self-critical analysis. Okay. You have done the work, take a break of 1 day, and then look at the work by yourself. Try to self-critique yourself. You should be your topmost critique. Second is try to find people who are a couple of steps ahead from you, who are already PM and all. Try to get their understanding. You can find these people on LinkedIn. Just be nice. People are generally nice to reply. There is a website called as topmate.io where you can go ahead and find people for exchange of few dollars in order to talk to them and show them your portfolio. Third is use ChatGPT. Put your work of portfolio. Put it in ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, multiple models. Ask it that please rate it on the level of 1 to 5. And also tell me your judgment criteria. And then it will give you an exhaustive report. That is how you do it. What are the key skills and tools required to become a successful PM? How can I develop these skills? I've already answered this. I have already answered this question in the last session, along with some resources. If you are really interested in the resources, after the last session, I'll be sharing a list of exhaustive resources so that you guys can all go ahead and maybe watch these YouTube channels, resources, books, and everything. I've already answered this. How to learn product leadership skills. Understand product leadership skills are learned by exposing yourself to difficult situations. Okay. Situations make leadership. Situations make leadership. Okay. So try to expand your scope of work. Try to take things that are important for the company. Whenever you talk to people, try to take a step back, understand how can I go ahead and make this interaction better. Okay. And you can also go ahead and try multiple books. Okay. I can give you a couple of books. One book that I would recommend you is uh Mythical Man Month, Manager's Path, and another book is Turning the Ship Around. And there is one more short read, which is What Took You Here Will Not Take You There. And apart from this, for general self productivity and I would say self motivation, I would say 7 habits of highly effective people. And for general people understanding, two good books are How to Win Friends and influence people. And another book is Radical Condor. You don't have to read all of these. You can just start one and then read through it. Once you have read through it, you can ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you chapter by chapter. Like you can try and test how you want to do this. Understand? These books are not to be crammed all at once. You will overwhelm yourself. But these are too important to be left away without reading in your at least once in your life. Okay, so these are all important books. Everyone should have them in their home library because they will give you some perspective about the life. Even these are the books that you can also read repeated number of times, and whenever you read it, you are going to find a new perspective of that particular understanding of that particular message. How can I showcase that I have worked for a PM? So focus on the discovery skills. If I'm looking as a product owner profile and looking to hire them as a product manager, I would have an apprehension that this person would not know about user research, decision making skills, or business skills. So what you need to just do it, go ahead and learn about product discovery and try to showcase in your interview. Okay, so we have answered 52 questions. Everyone on a scale of 1 to 5, if you are able to understand everything so far, if you find the answers valuable, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5, please. If you find the answers valuable and relevant, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5, please. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Means a lot. Not that I know everything, but I try to give the answer because I have tried to talk to a lot of people, read some books, and also played these kind of roles at some point of time in their life in order to in my life in order to go ahead and give you this kind of perspective. Right. Now I have, yes. Thank you everyone. Guys, if anyone is interested in the program of HelloPM, you can straight away go to this website called hellopm.co and you can register yourself. Yes. The next question is from Lokik, which is, as a newbie in this field, currently a final year undergrad, trying to learn from your guidance, is it enough for me to get an overview of whole product industry and let me transition campus space? Okay. So understand information that I have given you, that is okay. Okay. But if you want to go to the next level, you need to make sure that you are able to practice. So what will happen is, I have given you some piece of information. You have to work on this information, practice some cases. Once you're practicing some cases, building some products, building some side projects, you will run into new problems. Now, when you search about these new problems, you will make more concepts. And when you learn these more concepts, you will make your products and your side projects and your case studies better. That is the loop that is going to go ahead and help you out. So I've given you just the trigger or the fire. Now the whole explosion is in your hands. How to start transforming an idea to a real business? What step can we follow and where to start? Okay, cool. Interesting question. Can you guys tell me in the chat how many of you want to build your own businesses one day? Tell me yes or no in the chat if you aspire to be an entrepreneur. Tell me yes or no in the chat if some of you have inspiration to become entrepreneurs. Cool. I'll tell you. Okay, so whenever I try to work on a business idea, this is the approach that I take. I'm not saying that this is the only approach. There are 100 approaches to building a company. Creating a company is the most vague problem in the world. So if I'm trying to go ahead and try to structure it into a process, I've already failed if I'm calling it a structured process. Okay. but I can tell you one of the ways that I generally prefer and suggest people. Okay. So the first step to going ahead and starting a business is ask yourself, why should you do this? Why you? What motivates you about this? What is passionate? What is the problem? What is your passion around this particular problem? Okay. Second is, what is the problem that you are solving? And how can you validate at the lowest cost that that people actually have this problem, that this problem is actually validated? After that, everything else is just operations and execution and course correction. Operations, execution, and course correction. So to give an example, recently I was at IT Kharagpur like 3 4 months ago, and a girl came and she told that she wants to build a healthy food brand where people who are living in hostels, they don't want to eat from mess because the food is generally not very healthy. So now she wanted to create chains across India in order to go ahead and test this idea, and she was raising money for the same. Okay, like super energetic, super motivated lady who wanted to do this. Okay, and then she asked me that whether I'll be able to go ahead and maybe lend her some money or invest some money, or maybe I can help her connect with people who can give her the money. Okay. And then I asked her the question that have you gone ahead and validated this? And she told that yes, she has done the research, she have talked to a few people, and she has done the research on internet, and she should be able to go ahead and do this, and there is a need for it in the market. But understand, if you are doing product management, if you are preparing for interviews, doing this market research and secondary research is good. But if you are working to make sure that have validated the needs, like real validated the needs, you need to conduct some experiments. And then I suggested her that please go ahead, start with one hostel in your own college, hire an already existing restaurant, give them some additional healthy recipes, and you can do all of these operations in less than 10,000 rupees. Okay. If you get good traction initially, you understand problems, you understand what people actually want, then you have to scale it from there. Okay. So my advice for someone starting a business is think big, start small. I hope most of you are not coming with deep pockets. You might not want to go into the VC route. So think big and start small. That is how every bootstrap great founder has started. I hope that answers your question around how to start a company. Okay. In the resources, I will also share one more link. I will write this down somewhere where I will tell you, like, I'll share an interesting video about how to start a startup or how to get an idea about the startup. I have my graduate B.Pharm. I wanted to transfer PM as I'm from tech background. I have knowledge, not tech background, but transfer. I have already answered this question, right? If you have a background, understand you cannot change your background. But what you can do is you can upskill yourself. Go ahead, learn product management, build proof of work, approach companies in the three bucket strategy that I've already told you in the initial questions. No. MBA is helpful, but if you're doing an MBA from a top tier college, if you do it from a, let's say, not so known college, it does not add a lot of brand. So my suggestion is if you are only doing MBA just for becoming a product manager, that is an overkill. There are other methods to become a product manager. It can be helpful if you are doing it from a great college. Will you be giving any assignment because while starting? Yes, we'll be giving you an assignment, guys. We have made a case study live on Unstop. We'll be communicating that to you by tomorrow. As a student, will I be looking related to that after this course? Will I be able to? Yes. So we generally help people in order to get jobs, get internships. We connect with companies. We help you build a resume, prepare for interviews, build a portfolio. So that happens after the program. But that is a different thing. I don't want to discuss about the program right now. Okay, we'll do a separate session for the same. Okay, but yes, we have helped a lot of people in order to get into jobs and internships as product managers. How to be product manager in software related companies? Already answered this question. Are courses really important for 10 experience, basis of experience, how and transition? Okay. So understand, guys, you have to first ask yourself, why are you doing the course? If even after 10 experience, you think that there are some concept that you don't know, you are not confident in, you lack a network, you lack a community, then go ahead and take the course. But if you think everything you already know, then no course can go ahead and help you out. If you acknowledge that yes, there is something that I don't know that I have to learn, then take courses. Otherwise, don't take them. I am working on a, but I don't know how to draw user flow and wireframe. I don't understand the program. What is this about? Okay. You can understand the program by going to the website called as HelloPM.co. If you are creating this, I will also send a, you can go to YouTube, search for wireframes for product managers, HelloPM. You should be able to find a detailed video on user flows and wireframes. Yes. So for AI ML guys, I will go ahead and share with you how to become an AI product manager. Okay, so you can go to our YouTube channel and search for AI ML product management thing. Okay. We have created a detailed roadmap on how to become an AI ML product manager. I have answered this. What if you target to onboard 3,000 users but only 2,000 onboarded? Did you come against a decision where the product was not accepted? How do you do that? How will you deal with the product team of priorities, success team of priorities? What is your product team? Okay, don't try to interview me here, guys. What will you do if target was to onboard 3,000 users, but only I will understand the cause and then I'll solve it. Okay. There is no one method to solve this. So first I'll understand what is the cause. Why were we not able to get 2,000 people, like 3,000 people? Then I'll go ahead and ask for the solution. Many times products are not accepted because they don't solve a problem, or people are not able to understand the UX UI, or people find it very difficult, or the proper product was not properly communicated. Over communication. If you do over communication with your team and align the team every now and then, you'll be able to move towards a common goal. What is my favorite product? I'll not answer this question because that will take longer than you would expect. Explain how would you improve an existing product to an next one. That's okay. In the next class, I'm going to take these questions, which is around interview preparation. So I'll answer these questions in detail because they deserve more time and attention than we have right now. Already answered this. Can't say about 10 years. I can't even say about 1 year. But understand it from first principles that what do product managers do? Product managers help companies create better products for customers and they align the teams. Will this skills or this need be there 10 years down the line? Yes, it would always be there. Whether the role would be there or not, I'm not sure. But the need of this particular skill will always be there. So focus on the skills, not on the title or the designation. That is a question that I have given you guys. You have to find the answer. I'll tell you in the last session. This is the question that I have given in the first session, right? Answer this. How can you train your own AI model site within your item? Okay, so you can just go to Hugging Face. Okay, and you can also go ahead and uh, you can go to Amazon SageMaker. They give you infrastructure to train your own models. Okay, just put up this, like, go to this website called dave.to. There are many articles, tutorials around how to train your own models. Before you put your own data, what you can also do is you can go to GPT. In the settings section, they also have an option to train the GPT model on your own data, create a custom model. So you can go ahead and use this. Start with baby steps. Once you're stuck, Google Chat GPT and you'll find your way out there. Answer this question. I'm pretty sure I recently get some interesting towards product marketing. How do I think skills and scope? Okay, so guys, if you want to understand what you should exactly learn and what are the tools that you should exactly see, you can straight away go to hellopm.co and then you can click on from the quick menu, you can click on curriculum. These are the things that you need to learn. We have also mentioned multiple tools that you need to learn. So this will give you a good understanding. Let me go ahead and share the link with you with everyone in the chat so that this question is not repeated. I am working as a PM in a product along with a senior who is my mentor as well. I feel I work mostly as a PM. Most of the PM work being by the senior. How to do outbound strategy is feel works to leadership. Okay. Rather than giving this question to me, you should honestly tell it to them. Okay. So if you have to talk about other person to a third party, the better solution to that problem is that you should straight away talk to that person. Okay. That I believe that I need some exposure to how do you build strategy, and I would love to shadow you. Okay. And then when you ask for advice and suggestion from people, they are generally very kind enough to give you the same. Okay. So rather than asking me this question, go ahead and ask them for the permission and then you shall get it. How can someone preparing for for notes so that okay. So data analyst, you have to go deeper into data. And for product, you have to understand more about the product discovery part. So build user empathy and build on your market research skills. Build some proof of work. That is my only suggestion. And also, guys, I'm not telling you to build proof of work for the sake of it. Proof of work actually is a proof that you have done something, you know something. Most of the people in their mind, they think that they know product management. But when you get a case study, then you understand how good your understanding is. So proof of work is also your own compass to understand whether you are ready for it or not. Can BSc friction become product? Forget about degrees, guys. Although MBAs and CSC in tech are preferred degrees, but don't make it your limitation. You cannot control your future. You cannot control your past. You cannot change your past, but you can, to an extent, control your future. Go ahead and do that. If you're starting, what help you grow fastest PM movement or something else, what is that? Okay. If you were starting your PM career again today, what would you do differently? What would I do differently? Maybe I'll try to assess the opportunities before I take them. Okay. I have made mistakes that I will go ahead and jump on the opportunities before taking a step back. Now that I'm a bit more mature, I would assess the opportunities before going all in. So taking a step back is something that I would recommend. How will you transition from being a PM task focused to thinking more strategically? By expanding the scope. Okay. By doing a lot of reflection. Understand how my tasks, let's say, how my tasks how my task oriented nature is actually limiting my growth as a product manager. Okay. Developing more of customer understanding, domain matter expertise, integrating with the customer, like the business leadership, that will help me become more strategic. Thinking for the long term rather than the short term. Yes. So what has helped me is actually a combination. Understand, if you're only taking mentorship and not taking action, that is a waste of time. If you're only taking action, if you're not course correcting yourself, that is also a waste of time. So you need to have a healthy combination. Too much of anything is bad, and absence of anything is bad. Have a good combination. Always reflect that how can I get the best from this opportunity and this particular learning opportunity. What's the best advice a mentor has ever give you? How did it show up in your work? Okay, so I've got a lot of advice, but one piece of advice that I've got was from two founders, I would say. One, like I would say two pieces of advice. One as a person in itself. So when I joined She Rose, I was pretty young. I think I was what, maybe 25, 27 years old. And I was within, let's say, 6, 7 months, I was promoted to a head of product growth over there. Okay, it was a big company. They have just raised a bit amount of money. And then the founder told me that for all the big problems in the world, the playbooks are not yet created. So you should be willing to go ahead and create your own playbook rather than going ahead and finding and maybe trying to borrow some playbook from somewhere else, from someone else. Okay. So be willing to write your own playbooks. That is the one piece of advice that I have found, and that has helped me a lot in order to reinvent complete user journeys, in order to reinvent complete products. And the second piece of advice is from one of the founders that I've worked with while I was working at IND Money. Ashish was his name. And he had a policy that whenever we were discussing about any product changes, he would always ask, what is the benefit for the customer? Okay. And that actually stayed with me since a long period of time. And that is still with me today, that what is the perspective of the customer for this particular conversation? Are we bringing the customer perspective at the table? Okay. These two pieces of advice have helped me. The third is more technical, which is from the founder of Scalar, Anshuman. So when I was interviewing at the company, he shared a podcast with me, and the main learning of that podcast was that you can do anything in your life, but you cannot do everything. You can do anything in your life, but you cannot do everything. That means you have to focus. You have to prioritize as an individual. You have to prioritize as a product manager. You have to prioritize also in your professional and your work life. Okay. So always understand, don't dilute yourself into 100 opportunities. Focus and commit. It's okay to let some fires burn if you are focusing on one opportunity with your 100% efforts. Is there a product out there that you really admire? There are many products that I admire. Okay, there are many products. So Zoom is a product that I admire. I admire it because it helps me do my job and interact with so many people. YouTube is something that I admire because it is helping so many people connect with so many individuals across the globe and get information, get entertainment, get music, and so many things. Okay. So there are a lot of products that I admire. Almost every product that I use, I have to admire it, because if I'm using it, that means the product is very, very already very popular. It is solving an important need in my life. So every product that solves problems is something that I admire. Yes, I have already answered this question in the second session. Manager, I own the D2C website, Shopify Plus Tech Stack. What is the best resource to get according to Shopify Plus? And I have to launch various loyalty subscription in app for. Okay. So simple thing is, guys, okay. Shopify has this developer central and a playbook for everyone who wants to learn about Shopify. Start with that documentation. Okay. And second step is go ahead and talk to people who are already Shopify product managers, who are working for the websites, who are using Shopify. That is how you do it. So the first answer is now revolving again. How do you develop domain matter expertise? That is a question of domain matter expertise. How to make a product from inception? Research, find the user problem, find the business problem, prioritize the problem, find the solution for the prioritized problems, build prototypes, experiment in order to validate the problems and solutions. What is working, scale it, and then whatever is not working, iterate it or diminish it. Okay. And then measure the metrics and then repeat the cycle. And always be connected to your customers. Hmm. Currently, BTech at a lot of articles. I came to know about that. Okay, so guys, this anyone cannot answer that how much you should learn. Okay, go through job descriptions, understand the skills, find resources, and learn about them. As long as you do not feel confident, you have to learn to that particular level. Okay, your own confidence is your own skill set. Some people can get confident in reading 10 articles. Some people can get confident in reading two articles. Okay, as long as you're able to build your portfolio, your own product, then that much knowledge is enough. And then everything else is just course correction and iteration. For this, I will send you a video about BA, PO, and product manager. Interested in understanding the nuances of product management in the pharma of medtech space? From your experience, what are the core things keep in mind when managing products in this industry, especially coming from CSIT? Okay, so I'm not at all from pharma or medtech space, but my first answer of collecting information from deep research, then collecting information from multiple like hero products in that industry, and then talking to people will help you get this answer. I'm not from pharma or medtech, so I'm not sure I'm eligible enough to go ahead and answer this. How can we apply in class towards data platform products? How we see anything case studies, consumer metric, for example, but love to see this. Okay. So you can apply all of these in platform products as well, guys. Platform product is a product over which other products are created. Shopify is a platform product. AWS is a platform product. So here, other builders are actually your users. So you have to build from their perspective. You have to understand not only them, but also their users. So that is the only perspective change. Everything else is the same. Customer centricity remains the same, but you also have to focus on the customers that they are going to deploy. To what level should we understand tech side of product working on? So if you are looking to understand about tech, what you should do is just go ahead, go to the HelloPM website, click on programs, click on tech for product and business. Folks, you should be able to get a detailed syllabus on the same. I have already answered this. Business knowledge depends upon the domain that you are working in and the company that you are working in. That's your choice. Some people transition directly into PM. Some people first transition into tech roles and then they transition PM. That is your choice. You should start learning and see where that learning and that effort is taking. Right now, you don't have to decide. Increase their reorder rate from 12 to personal by improving the reorder experience without any order gimmicks in e-commerce industries. Interview questions we are going to take on Saturday, guys. Solution problem solver, how to develop that mindset. But okay, so I have already talked about this in both the sessions. Please go through all the two sessions where you'll understand about problem solving and looking at a problem from various perspectives as a product manager. How to build that mindset, I've already talked about in the last two classes. Guys, don't think that all the PMs are generalist roles. It is a myth in the industry that all the PMs are generalist roles. Okay. Some people will always ask for domain matter expertise because customer empathy. Understand? Someone who is already from that industry can do better product discovery there because they already understand about what the customers need and where the market is moving to. Okay. So don't consider PM as a completely generalist role. It requires some domain matter expertise as well at some of the companies. Now, how to develop domain matter expertise that I've already answered in the starting of this call. Need to have understanding of how to pick right cohorts, user segments, campaign, or payment products. If you are struggling with cohorts and user segments, start with the start with their purpose of using the product rather than focusing on their demographics and persona. Focus on their purpose of using the product. For example, Amazon has sellers because they want to sell, their purpose is to sell the product. And then they also have buyers. Then from buyers also you can do multiple segregation, as in people who are housewives, who are pet caretakers, or other people. So focus on the purpose or job to be done and create your segmentations from that particular lens. And if you find some common demographic, that's okay, but do not start from demographics. That's generally not a good way because demographics could be defined. A person who is a 18-year-old can be a seller on Amazon. A person who is 45-year-old can be a seller of Amazon. But you don't get any knowledge or insight from this information. Okay, what do they sell? What is the money that they are making? What is the problem that they face? Are better proxies for creating user segments. How much of tech is required? I am transition PM, no experience currently as a PM. Manage up. So if you're not getting opportunities as a PM at your company, try to create opportunities for yourself. If you are getting Jira tickets, they are user stories. Understand what are the user problem behind the scene, right? You have to find your own work, right? It is very easy for me to blame the company that you are in the bad company and then these companies are making you to the project or operations role. But that is not a good advice to do. That is not helping you in any way. So my advice is try to look for at least what are the adjacent responsibilities that you can get. Okay, that will go ahead and help you out. You are responsible for your own career. How much of a tech is required in to put on your portfolio? Depends on the project that you are building. At least API, cloud understanding of AI tools should be showcased in your portfolio. How to make product decks which are asked by top companies as shortlisting round for PM roles. I've already answered this in the last session. And you can also search on YouTube for McKinsey McKinsey slide deck playlist. You will get a playlist on YouTube and then you can go ahead and go through. Okay. I will also add that link once I'm sharing the resources with all of you. The resources will be mentioned in the description. When CEO person responsible to approve sprints item make you a task and you are not confident about, and you are not the person who has convinced the tech team to have to do it. Okay, so before rejection, understand why you are rejecting it. Why is more important. You should have solid feedback or solid data to support whether you are actually going in the right direction. So, what is the reason for the disagreement? Bring that. Once you understand it, try to voice it out in a nicest possible way to your CEO, and then try to understand their response. Okay. And when you are talking to them, and let's say if they don't agree, then when you are stuck with the developer, go again to the CEO and try to help them understand. Ask this question to them that how do they, whatever question the developer asks you, you go ahead and ask the CEO. So three-step guide. Number one, first, understand objectively why do you have an issue with that. Don't just disagree for the sake of disagreeing. Have some data backing. Second is, if you have the data, try to convince the CEO. Try to help them understand. Like, don't just convince. Try to talk to them. Try to have a dialogue. And then the third part is when the developer complains you, understand if you can answer it. If you cannot answer it, rephrase it in the best possible way. Then try to ask a question to the CEO. That is how you are going to deal with this. Steps to transition to PO. I have already answered this. Yes. Detail explain proper market research. Answered this in the initial part of the session. Photo side forces and all. Please provide a roadmap of AIPM, where to start RGMCP. I have already shared a detailed video about this AIPM for AI roadmap for product managers. I'll also share that link in the description of this video. What is the impact of AI product manager product and hiring person? I have already answered this multiple times. Okay, already answered all these three things. Improving making PPTs. How can I master 4 months currently at zero? Not unique idea. Okay, so improving PPTs does not need 4 months, guys. It needs a weekend. Okay, I'll attach a playlist in the description somewhere so you guys can go ahead and go through this. I have switched to PM in the last 2 years ago, but not able to crack interviews. I need a more focused way of communicating my answers. We are going to discuss this in the next session about interview preparation. Yes, I've already answered these questions. Prepare yourself, understand your weaknesses, and then apply the three bucket strategy that I've already told you. It answers all the four questions. Learn product management implementing skills or doing MBA, which option benefit. Okay. If you're only doing MBA to get into a product manager role, that could be a big overkill. Okay. First, try to get the skills once you know what you don't know. And then, if you find a purpose of an MBA, then go ahead and do an MBA. Just don't lock in yourself for a period of 2 years just because you have money and you can do so. I am currently pursuing an IT with a specialization in data as a fresher responsible directly. That is your choice. Both the options are available. I've already answered this. Both the options are available. Okay, so understand, guys. This is how you should look at your transition. Okay, let's say you are here. You are either a developer or a designer or a salesperson or a marketing person or a student. And this is the PM role that you have to get in. Understand? Some of you might be able to make a straight transition to PM. It is possible. There are many people who have done this. Okay. But some of you have to take a small milestone in between, which is role that is adjacent to product manager, which is a business analyst, product owner, product analyst, data analyst, program manager, project manager. So these could be your stepping stones. So don't limit yourself only with PM. The good part is that if you learn about PM, everything else will also come to you because generally these are some parts of PM. My advice is learn product management, but when you are ready for jobs, once you have learned this, apply for multiple jobs. And then once you get an offer, you can go ahead and maybe pick good offers. Okay. I will any day recommend you to work at a better company with a better culture with these designation rather than working at a shady company with a PM designation. Okay. Then product owner, product manager, differences using business terminology. Okay, so I'll share a video of this, just a detailed answer that you'll find there. There are companies using AI to validate their product ideas, incremental ideas, especially for the content. This is a good idea. Eliminating the time spent in creating epic stories. This is good, depends on the code. Understand if the problem is very complex and no, not enough data is available about it, and there are no user insights with the AI, it is going to do a wrong job. So it depends upon what is the problem that you are solving. For example, coding as a problem can be solved by the AI because all of the code, most of the code of the world is already available to AI. So they have better training data available. But for other use cases, such as can we determine cancer? Can we determine a particular, let's say, strip of a DNA? That is a bit difficult right now because we do not have a lot of data available. As we are creating the data, that will become more helpful. Hmm. Why will any company, product manager, or a developer when it comes to layoff? And why will the difference pay and the demand for both these roles? Okay. Not sure, guys. Not sure why would they remain like retain a developer, product manager. Depends on the context of the company, the problem that they are solving, the problem that they are making redundant. Okay, the cost that they are trying to reduce. There are multiple factors. Understand most of the layoffs that have happened. Some have been heavy on product manager, some have been heavy on middle manager, some have been heavy on marketing and sales, some have been heavy on customer support, some have been very heavy on developers. So it depends on the context of the company. There is no that only product managers are getting fired, or some developers are always getting fired. It depends on the context of what the company wants to do, what they want to achieve, what they want to avoid. Generally, product managers and developers are at par. There could be some differences at some companies, but generally, product managers and product like engineers are at par with each other. Yes, you can start looking for PM interns, but also if you are already, let's say, specializing in AI ML, try to build something. Also have some technical expertise. That is your superpower. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure that I was able to help. Perform well at a type product manager role. What it takes to be a product leader and how long skills have to build, bit of background. We carry action as a product manager, short term as a time, companies known as a product leader in the long term. Okay. So my advice to someone who is trying to excel in their career is to have two things. One is the agency. Second is the expertise. Agency means your ability to get things done, your ability to take the ownership. Okay. This is the nature. This is your nature. This is your intent. This has to come from inside you. Okay. Expertise you develop with experience, by reading, by interacting with your users, by reading books, by reading articles, by taking courses and doing multiple things. Okay. So if you do these, you already have a good roadmap to get into any kind of interesting enough role and get into leadership roles. Okay. For leadership, the only thing that I can tell you is empathy. Understand what other people want, what their incentives are, why do they do what they do. That's it. If you understand that, if you align your team towards that, you will definitely become a good leader. The mindset of AI all the time is very focused at your homework, creating the intuition. What all things you work on same time as present? Same from the person hiring. I think I've answered this for AI. AI will help you prioritize better. AI will help you validate better and quicker. So work on AI prototyping as a skill, I would say. Leverage AI. Unlisted opportunities are coming from networks, guys. Okay, you have to build a strong network, reach out to people not only who are working with you right now, but who have worked with you in the past, where they are working, your college mates, your school mates, your seniors, your juniors. Build, start leveraging your 0 degree network. I have seen people, they straight away jump to talking to, let's say, they straight away jump to their 3rd degree network on LinkedIn before even understanding that they already have a good network from school, college, seniors, juniors, and their past. If you leverage that, you should be able to go ahead and get at least few opportunities. Definitely, I have already answered this in the second last session, second session, which is yes, you can practice product sense with multiple things such as product case studies and multiple other things. Yes, this I have already answered in the second session. Okay, how to build a side project, the whole side project stack. Okay, if you guys are interested in building your side project, I would recommend everyone to go to this website called as Indie Hackers. Okay, wonderful website and a community for people building side projects. Yes. Okay, so we have answered more than 100 questions. Cool. Everyone, again, on a scale of 1 to 5, if you are still finding the questions and answers relevant and helpful, amazing. Great. Cool. Okay. Tell me yes or no if your questions have also got answered. Whatever question that you have in mind, even if they were not in the chart right now, they also got answered. Yes, some people are still waiting. Most of the questions are answered. Wonderful. Cool. How working in field sales helps in. Okay. So if you are working in field sales, you already know about what your customer wants. You already know about what competitors should they consider before buying. And you already have communication and stakeholder management skills because whatever they tell you in the sales field, you go ahead and give that feedback to your team members, right? So, customer empathy, user research, competitive research, market research, and stakeholder management is something that you already know. Now, acquire the other skills, then become a product manager. I am incoming second year IT, found that I fit into product growth categories. I was looking for guidance how to go product for main companies about the skills all I need. Your guidance appreciated. I'm taking time to. Thank you for this question. Understand if you're just in second year, you do not have to decide your career so concrete. Don't say that I think that I'm made for this. No, guys, explore the world. Imagine choosing a career like choosing a chair. Unless you have sit on enough number of chairs, or maybe choosing a spouse for yourself, unless you have dated enough number of people, you would not go ahead and maybe decide whom to marry. Okay. So my advice is you are young. Utilize your energy and the free time that you have available in order to explore multiple other things. Okay. Don't be afraid of hard work. When you commit to something, go ahead, go into details. Try to learn everything about the same. Okay. But don't immaturely commit to the same. Don't be just shifted to product or product growth. Learn about tech, learn about product, learn about marketing, and eventually you will find your way. Sure, you explained all the things starting from product roadmap, product backlog, everything you have made. But where does product requirement document stands in that chart? Okay. Product requirement document comes between the product roadmap and the product backlog. Okay. Product roadmap you create at a high level, and then product roadmap is at the low level. Before you transition from product roadmap to product backlog, you create a detailed list of requirements that the product is supposed to have. Okay. So that will require why are you building the product? What is the user research that you have done? What is the purpose? What is the flow? What are related documents that you'll put in the PRD? So between product roadmap and product backlog is going to come your PRD. How to develop? Very simple. Talk to people. Talk to people. You have to talk to enough people. And maybe, sorry, not talk to. Listen to enough people and observe enough people. Okay. Listen to enough people, observe enough people, be curious about their lives. And then you will start developing user empathy. There is no easier or a shorter framework that I can give you. In order to develop user empathy, you have to spend time with the users. That's it. Observe them and ask yourself why they are saying, why they are doing what they are saying, what they are doing. I am curious if you are going to give an intro sources to no code or building agents. I see a lot of content LinkedIn these days on this and how important skills are this. Is there any way getting a portfolio by a team? I'm sure about payments. Okay, so if you are already getting a lot of content on LinkedIn, why do you want me to create content? Okay, it's already there. Go ahead and read it. Okay, so right now I'll not be covering about AI agents and all. Whenever I'll cover it, I'll go ahead and inform you guys as well. But right now, no plans of covering AI agents or no code tools. No code tools are already gone. That wave is gone. There are AI tools now. In case you go ahead and join the HelloPM program, then we go ahead and help you with a detailed review of your portfolio, not only creation, but also review of your portfolio. What do hiring managers ask for an entry-level PM roles? How to understand PM is exceptional? Can you walk us through a product mission that you made? I've already answered this in some of the initial questions. For the question and answers, I'm going to explain this in the next session on Saturday, where we'll talk about how to crack PM interviews. Underrated skill, underrated skill. I'm not sure if it is underrated skill, but your ability to understand the other person, your ability to bring everyone on the same page is an underrated skill. And generally, this skill cannot be tested in an interview really nicely because people can cook up stories of the past. So bringing people on the same page, doing alignment and stakeholder management is very important and an underrated skill. And this skill, the value is only found when someone is failing at their job and when the product does not work. How do you stay relevant? There are a lot of tools developed and just recently, how do you find them? How do you focus on when no longer a time when you learn on the jobs? How do you upskilling once you have children? Yeah. So guys, no one has enough time in the world. No one has time less than you. No one has time more than you. It's actually not a method of time. That is a method of priorities. Not saying that your family, your wife, your children are not important. But you have to understand that in order to give them a better life, if you are not planning your day carefully, you have to spend your time with your wife, your daughters, your sons. But maybe once in a week, you should also go ahead and spend time in order to upskill yourself. Because if you do not upskill yourself, you will not be able to sustain for a long term in the career because market is very competitive. And also, if you don't learn, generally it hits you mentally as well because humans want growth. They follow their curiosity. If you're not doing it, and if you're only stuck in, let's say, the day-to-day responsibilities and all, you will hamper your growth. Once you hamper your growth, you will also hamper the growth of people who are around you. So in a way, if you focus on your own growth for, let's say, 10-20% of the time that you are spending to people around you, you are actually helping them as well. Okay. So change the perspective. It's only a method of prioritization. I can recommend you 100 books around productivity. I've read so many of them, but it's only a method of prioritization. One thing that I can tell you is if you are able to make sacrifice, go to your phone. If you're an iPhone, if you are using an iPhone, go to the screen time. If you are using a what do we call it? Android, then go to digital well-being. Look at the time that you spend on phone. Try to cut it in the half. Whatever the half that you have saved, try to invest in your learning. That is your answer. And I'm sure when you are operating your phone, you are not talking to your wife or your parents or your children. So you are not taking away time from them. And one more thing that you should have genuine curiosity to do something. Don't just learn something because someone wants you to learn something, someone has given you the homework. Actual learning happens by following curiosity. That helps you focus and go into the flow state. Yes. For the tools and all, there are so many social networks. Operate like use LinkedIn for 15 minutes a day. So many people will throw so many tools at you. That's enough. Would like to know what exactly PM should do AI related coaches. Enhance skill like should go with what all levels of AI. Okay. So, guys, I have written a detailed blog on. Okay, let me share something with you. Just give me a moment. Everyone is asking questions around AI. So, let me see if I can answer this. Every PM would be an PM. Actually, I don't share. Wait. Okay. Tell me in the chat how many people want the resources around AI product management so that I can see if the efforts are going in the right direction to find that. Where is AI? Cool. I've shared this in the chat. I'll also share some updated resources in the resources section once the last session is over. Okay. This is everything you need, guys. Okay. how to become an AI product manager, AI tools for PM, AI product development lifecycle, how to become an AI product manager, API product management, AI PM. Everything is written. You just have to now invest time. All of these resources are 100% free. And people who are watching on YouTube later, they can check the description for the links. Ask GPT, guys. Okay, your job description should decide what are the keywords that you should pick. Okay, I'll share the links with you. I'll share the documents with you. I think I've already shared in the last email. Okay, around the decks from the sorry, the decks from the Microsoft and also from multiple other companies. Okay, I'll also go ahead and again share it with you in the resolutions. Answer this. Okay, so understand, guys. People do paid courses for better structure, mentorship, and a lot of accountability. Okay, this free content I'm giving you, but I can assure you that less than 10% of you are actually going to go through this content. Okay, so that will go ahead and like paying money always adds accountability, but you have to decide what is more important for you. Some people generally they are struggling in their life, so it is very difficult for them to go ahead and pay a lot of money. So I understand that. That is why we also create free content. I have been upskilling. We have a question from Ronak. Sorry, the name is not written. I have been upskilling in PM for a while now as a person who is trying to break into PM. However, I've been noticing how unforgiving the market is currently to people who have transitioned. I have also implemented. Okay, just search for associate product managers. Just search for associate product manager on your LinkedIn and click on that people tab. If you are able to find people who are associate product manager at any companies, that means people are still becoming associate product managers. You just have to get exposed to more opportunities. You have to have a bit more patience and bit more application. And if it is difficult for you to transition right now as an APM, try for the adjacent roles. Your eventual goal is to get into PM and not even get into PM, but to build better products. There are multiple paths to the same. If the industry is frustrating you right now, you have multiple other ways as well. Look around, take your head up and look around. You will find so many things. Answer this. Guys, masters, I'm not sure if they are worth it. Okay. At least I think that masters are not worth it unless you are doing it from a super difficult college to get in because that is how companies perceive you. Sir, I'm from NIT Bhopal. Okay, so people who want to leave the class, they can leave the class. I'm not holding you hostage. You can go ahead and leave the class if you want to. If your questions are answered, if you're not interested in listening to other answers, at least right now you can always go to them on the YouTube. You can leave the class. No hard feelings. I am from NIT Bhopal from core branch material, science and metallurgy, and I don't have any prior experience. It's difficult to get job. Guys, boss, understand you do not have started your career right now. Okay. You need about 6 to 8 months in order to get the right product skills, practice, build a portfolio, talk to people. And then you can start applying. No issues. There are people who are able to transition to PM from very irrelevant background. So it's possible for you. It is difficult because it is a high responsibility role. It is difficult because it is becoming a very, very popular role. It is difficult because there are so many people who do not know product management and yet they think they know product management. Once you know about product management, once you are confident in your skills, like real confident coming from the work, then you'll understand it's not actually that difficult that the market has told. Out of 1,000 applicants who want to become product managers, 950 do not have any idea about what is product management, or they are having false confidence in themselves. Okay, so deserve the role that you desire. That is my opinion here. Yes. If the resume does not work for you, build a portfolio. If the portfolio does not work for you, go ahead and do something for the company. If it does not work for one company, do it for two company, three company, four company. Don't call it a quit before 20 companies. After 20 companies, you will develop a pattern that this is how I do it. And now if the company is not hiring you, that is their loss, not yours. Yes, you can do this. You can create side. Understand, you don't have to do everything. You can also create side project directly, but your side project should be impactful. It should have traction. Coming from a BA background, working on an in-house tool, I have exposure to some parts of program. However, I've not been much traction in my profile for this kind of experience. What do recruiters look for? Cool. I think I've answered this question. Okay, go ahead. Look at the job descriptions to find what they are looking for. And once you've understood that, showcase that in your profile, showcase that in your portfolio, showcase that in your cover letters. And before you showcase, go ahead and acquire that domain matter expertise in the same method that I have told you. So I have told you at the starting of the session that using these three steps, you can get domain matter expertise. Okay. Research, understand top players, and then connect with people. So if you think something is lacking in your resume, in your profile, go ahead and acquire that skill. I'm a career changer trying to get into technology, product domain. I think before how can I find opportunity to start in the product domain? Already answered this, the three bucket strategy. Resume, portfolio, three bucket strategy. Most required skill for product manager, how to think for ideas should from other company any other ways. First principles and competitors. There is also one more method. So the question is how to come up with ideas. How to come up with ideas. The very obvious part is competitor, but then you can end up repeating their same mistakes. Second is first principles, break down the problem into its constituents and then solve for them. Third is scamper. I will not explain this. You can go ahead and research about it at your own. Scamper method to come up with innovative solutions. As a generalist, PMs are on decline due to advent of AI. So the tech skills are necessary to transition product management. It's not because MBA leadership learning coding skills, social PM. I've already answered this. If you go to the HelloPM website, in the drop down, you will see a program, Tech for Product Managers, that will answer your question. I just have PTM, PM, and GTM research. Okay. It depends upon what interns, what jobs that you're looking for. You're looking for product marketing and GTM kind of roles. Then this could be a relevant proof of work. Otherwise, no. Somehow belonging to the healthcare background without any knowledge, tech management. Connect with people, showcase your work to them. Understand you cannot create experience out of thin air. Okay. So you have to rely on the work that you are doing on the site. Yes. I have told you about market research as well. How to start the first project? By going to drive.google.com, clicking on new slide, and then start your work. To start the first project, answer this seriously. Find out the problem that you want to solve. Talk to the people who might be facing this problem. Then articulate the problem well. If you find some other adjacent problems, collect them, prioritize the right problems, solve them, then go ahead, find the most effective solution that you think is possible. Then build a prototype, build some wireframes, attach some metrics, and then you have your first project ready. Empathy, customer understanding, stakeholder management, problem solving, and decision making. This is the skill of a PM in the AI world. By okay, so the only marker, or the only, I would say, indicator that you are intelligent, you can do PM is whether your products work or not. So in the last session, I've told you that's the only marker of a good side project is whether they have traction or not. So if you have traction, if you are able to tell what is the problem that you are solving, what is the thesis behind your solution, how you have iterated, then you are going to showcase your product skills, not the UI, not the tech. I have college placements upcoming in ITG, Guwahati. Can you suggest some CVs most companies would look for in product roles, experience projects? Okay. So I have also shared a link some time ago on creating a resume. I'll also share this in the resources so that you can go ahead and build your CV. Starting from zero to where currently, where your first APM role, bootcamp, developing first thing to start product only, what will be the proper roadmap after ending this roadmap? Once you have done the roadmap, build your portfolio, or during the roadmap, like bootcamp, build a portfolio, and then go ahead and start applying for jobs. That's it. And once you are stuck in the job, you can always come back to us to ask any questions that you might have. Find hard to do so when you study problem statements. Okay, so now it's a very important question is around communication. That someone is not able to communicate, and because you're not able to communicate, all the other problems are happening. Communication is a root of all of the problems that you're telling. You're not able to communicate yourself well in the message that you're sending for surveys, in the survey forms. That is why people are questioning. Please focus on your communication skills. You cannot operate as a product manager without improving your communication skills. Okay. How many people are there right now who are struggling with the communication skills and who want to improve their communication skills? Tell me yes or no in the chat. How many people are there who are struggling with the communication skills and they want to improve their communication skills? If you want to improve your communication skills, the first is please understand that it might be possible that you are not clear in your own head about what do you need to communicate. Understand? If I did not know answers of this question, if I did not have enough experience, then I would be blabbering around these questions for the answers of these questions. Okay. But because I had some experience, I was able to answer these questions. So this is, if I was not able to answer, if you're not able to, let's say, use the right words, sometimes or most of the times, it is actually the problem of content rather than communication. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is whether it's a content problem or a communication problem. Am I able to explain myself this particular thing in the language that I know? If you're not able to do it, then go ahead and stop. Okay. The second point is so first is this. If you don't do this, everything else is a failure. So understand it's a content problem or communication problem. If you're not clear in your own head, how can we you clear to the second person? Second part is generally people who struggle with English, with communication, they generally mean that they struggle with English. And generally people struggle with English because either they are thinking in their own language, which is let's say a Hindi or a Marathi, and they try to translate it into English. And generally they lack words, like their vocabulary is very short. So everyone can go ahead and Start reading this book, Word Power Made Easy, very popular book. Okay. And then the third is practice. How should you practice? Don't think twice and join the Toast Masters International group in your city. Just go ahead and join Toastmaster International group in your city. If you do these things, if you just give 6 months to yourself, your communication skills would be at a different level altogether. But even after you do this, please do not forget this. You can be the greatest communicator and the knower of the English language in the world. But if you don't have something to talk about, if you don't have insights, that will not go ahead and help you. Okay. Yes, Kaushiki has suggested a very good thing. For practicing, you can also do journaling. Simple prompt. What I did get done today, what I'm going to do tomorrow, and what did I learn today? That's it. Or what am I, even better, if you want to improve your mental state, you can write a prompt as in what I am grateful for today. That's it. Writing brings a lot of clarity, right? So do this. So who are the people? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat, guys, if you are going to do these things. Tell me yes or no if you are going to do these things. Yes, I think Abhinav has a like a fantastic recommendation. You can use voice mode in ChatGPT rather than writing to ChatGPT. You can try the voice mode. That will also help you do the practice. Cool. How important is it shortly after it is posted? It's good to post. It's good to post the apply on the job as soon as the job is posted because generally HRs are more active at the top. But that is not a silver bullet. We have to consider how important sharing your portfolio already. Okay. If you already have experience relevant to the company, you can just add the portfolio in your resume. But make sure that the portfolio is good enough. If a portfolio is bad, you can also get, you will also go ahead and shoo away a good job opportunity because of the bad quality of your portfolio. What should be the skills that you should learn? I've already answered this in the first class. How to get breakthrough in the current market scenario in the US? Recently get a MS degree, where are difficult. How portfolio will cater to apply, guys. Aggressively apply. Don't leave any job where you're not applying. Try to work on your resume. And then the second thing is look out for reference. Look out for reference. Reference ke liye you need to put your own network at work and try to build a network. We have few alumni who are in the US. We run these US batches for HelloPM. And there was someone who applied for more than 250 job listings before they can get the first role. Right? So go ahead and apply. It will not work, and one day it will work. And have a tracker. Okay. Many people what they do is they will apply for 10-15 minutes a day and then they think that I have done the work for today. Okay. You need to make your job search as a job in itself. Okay. If you are out of job right now, if your only job is to get a job, go ahead and approach it like a 9 to 5 job. Okay. Create sheet, track what companies are you following up with, where is the process, how many times you have pinged by HR. You have to structure your process of job search. Background software if you're already then position, you don't have to do anything. You're already positioned. Just in your resume, write how you have impacted the products that you have worked upon rather than only writing the technical things about. Yes. So that's okay. If you have worked let's say for 3 years as an APM, you do not need a very, very strong portfolio. People understand that you cannot put your work in your portfolio. If you can create something additional, that's very good. Some case studies around that industry, that's very good. Otherwise, you should apply more because you're already an APM, you're already coming software engineering background, you have a relevant profile. Look for transferable skills. Even if you are going to D2C domains, then there are things such as, what do we call it? Uh, Strategy, documentation, stakeholder management, communication, running product teams, which are also common in any roles. Look out for common things and then try to go ahead and compensate for your domain matter expertise with them. And I've also told you how to get the domain understanding, right? Next career path for BA with 14 years of experience. PM solution architect to stay PM same hypes are that PMs are still replaceable with PM job. You know the constant of practice switching for PM 14 years might have big settle in the same. Okay. First of all, before all of these things, guys, understand you have to answer the question, why do you want to get into PM? If that is answered, that is strong. The salary and everything you are going to convince yourself. Okay. So if your why is not clear, no one would go ahead and make this odd transition. Okay. So clear your why and then you'll get your answers. I was an entrepreneur in product side for 2022. Then my product got failed. From 2022, I'm a freelancer developer AI consultant. My question is, how can I get paid? No, you are already a product manager and you have worked people, like help people as an AI consultant, then you have the relevant experience. Just articulate it in such a way that companies who are hiring you, they think that your experience is relevant for them. That is how they are going to consider your experience. How to make research documents. In the last class, I've already told you this. How to apply? Go to apollo.io, go to Easy Leads. There are many websites through which you can go ahead and find emails of people. Okay. Or simply you can just write a suggested email address, whatever you think is their email address, put it on Gmail send option, and then it will show an image that means it is their email address. Okay. I want to transition to PM after time ability experience about experience. How to decide? Okay. Generally, broad industry is the tech industry. In tech, you can divide into gaming, social, e-commerce, D2C, payments, fintech, so many other things. Okay. But before that, I would ask you because you have already worked in military for so long. My advice for you would be, first of all, thank you for your service. My advice for you would be, you should first talk to at least 10 product managers before getting into product management. When I was moving from entrepreneurship to product management, I have talked to 15, 20 people in order to understand more about the role before creating the roadmap and everything. Okay, so understand the role first. How to have a model of being a PM or TPM so you will be able to get into tech. Okay. Tech PMs are generally coordinating more with the technical teams. They are a bit more solution oriented than general PMs. And they are generally working on products where tech is a deep part. For example, Amazon Web Services, ChatGPT. They are deeply technical products. There, a TPM has to play a role. So you have to not only look at the discovery part, but delivery part is equally important for a technical product manager. In the era of AI, how to present ourselves as a PM where interview knows all the things that I know already, AI is doing something. Okay. No, so that means you do not understand AI, you do not understand the limitations or the expectations of AI. Okay. That means you are not using AI to its best possible way. People who actually are using AI in their day-to-day work, they understand its limitations. If you think AI can replace you right now, What you are doing is you are just looking at the LinkedIn post from various influencers who are just posting the content around how AI is replacing them. That is not happening, at least right now. Okay. So leverage AI is something that you need to do. Okay. And if you are saying that AI can go ahead and replace you right now, if you think that anything that you can do, AI can go ahead and replace you. If you think AI can replace you, or if you do not think AI can replace you, you are true in both the sentences. Okay. If you think or not think AI can replace you, you are correct. Right. Okay. I missed a question. Which one was that? Okay. I have a product idea. Now I'm in discovery phase. Can you highlight some pointers how to make as much as possible? That's a solid idea. I know that the problem is very real in market. There's a gap between problem. Okay. The very simple question is, how do you know that there is a problem? Validate it. Get research, detail, MVP, experiment with real users. That is how you are going to go ahead and take it to the next level. Correct. So my only thing is build the smallest thing that you can in order to validate the problem and the solution that you are creating. That's it. And then the next step will come just after that. How can we proactively to break down situation and solve in structured manner during an interview and interview chances of getting shortlisted? This is the discussion for the next session on interview preparation. Service enables college students to often mention products by using in bulk manufacture and supply directly. I've recently been facing process and timely order delivery by visual. Is there any platform where my team can manage this? Okay. I've been working on the last 6 months as a founding team member in e-commerce startup which collects college students to often mention products cheaper rates by buying in bulk from manufacturing supply. We have recently been facing problems in timely order delivery for the children. Okay, so a weird question for this class, but yes, India Mart is something that I know of. That's it. India Mart or Udan. You can go to these places in order to buy some bulk products. Identify a problem statement in front of you. Search for how to use AI to build a product from scratch on YouTube. You will get the tutorial, build the product from that. How to use AI to build a product from scratch. Complete that tutorial, build your product. Lovable, bold, V0, everything is going to help you. ChatGPT as well. Okay, we have a question in the chat which is I have a difficulty in English as a language. Okay, so guys, we at HelloPM only teach in one language, that is English. Okay, so English is the only language that we teach in because there are people who are coming from different countries, and that is why we have to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Most probably, if you are going to do product management any company, their primary language is also going to be English. So we only teach in one language, English. Even Hindi is not at all, or maybe less than few sentences of Hindi are used. Otherwise, you use 100% English to make sure that everyone is feeling home and included. How do I navigate a product manager using workflow for assigning? How do I navigate as a product manager using work tools for assigning monitoring team work to the product manager? Yes, first of all, don't experiment with the tools. Don't think that today I'll use this and then I'll use this. For project management, there is a standard tool, Jira, Asana, Monday.com, ClickUp. Take any and then follow it. Everyone, 80% of the features are same. Don't innovate there. Okay. Second, should you update the roadmap to? Yes. Roadmap is a live document. You have to update it. Just make sure that it is easy to add. And all the relevant stakeholders are informed whenever you have edited it. There are always updates about AI companies or startups, but I miss most of them. Would you suggest like resources or somewhat? Would you? Okay, so I'll share a list of newsletters that you guys can subscribe to get updated with the AI updates. Okay. Would you please suggest? Let me write this down so that I don't forget this. Newsletter list. Would you suggest a few initial cases completion or a few unpaid interns for a student who recently completed first year of BTech? Go ahead, guys. Google is your friend. Uh, that can help you out. Go to Unstop. We are also running a case there. Multiple other people are also running the cases there. You can find it over there. Unstop.com is the name of the website. And internshala.com is the name of the website where you can find interns. By the way, how do I know my actual field of product management? Like career path exploring. I'm exploring freelance. Okay. So if you're not sure what you want to do, explore other things. Look at 20, 30 job listings for different kind of jobs. Talk to people who are already doing that job. And then you will have your answer. Understand? Whatever career that you choose, you are going to commit it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, maybe 50 years also. So if you're choosing something for this much amount of time, you should invest time in choosing it, right? You should invest some time into it. The issue is that we take important decisions in life in like very quickly. I've seen people who spend more time in deciding what should be the color of their shirt that they are going to wear today than choosing the degree that they should do. Okay. So spend some time. Spending time does not mean that you should go work in front of laptop. Go ahead. Try to look at 20 job listings for multiple roles that you are interested in. Create a mind map of what is leading to where. Write the name of the skills. Then go ahead, talk to people who are already in these roles. You will get your answer. But this effort is necessary to find what you need. If you try to do this effort with ChatGPT, you will not get the right or the internal answer. Don't look for answers outside. Look for answers inside. Firstly, I want to know about this program and pathway to enhance skills and then internship as a third year student. Okay. Go to hellopm.co. You should get the answer. How can I strategically craft? Okay. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right? A quick yes or no, everyone, if I'm audible to everyone. Cool. Yes. My headphone has started giving me the low battery thing, so that is why I thought. Cool. How can I strategically craft a perfect resume that stands out? Okay, so in the next session, I can talk a bit about like resume as well. That will take some time. If we want to understand product sense pillars, do we have any material you would recommend understand that? Or okay, so we have a full-fledged program where we talk in detail about product sense. Okay, so either you can practice with the content that we have already given you. If you want more content, you can also consider that program. Go to hellopm.co in order to understand. As a new PM, how should I start at zero level artifact should I create? Lot of companies just feature factory soon Reddit groups almost 90% matter. Lot of feature factory product. Slowly product in new companies. Sorry. Cool. So guys, understand as a product manager, you should know how to create wireframes, product requirement documents, and product review documents. Review as in like if you have built a product, how you are going to get it reviewed to your manager, to your CEOs. And all. These three you should absolutely go ahead and create. Then there is metric sheet. Then there are user stories. Then there is RCA documents. Okay. If you are okay with all of these things, you have already done a good job as a product manager. Understand? If you want to feel happy about your life, if you want to feel happy about a particular profession, go ahead, look about that profession on LinkedIn. And people will be telling you that how this profession is the best profession in the world. If you want to feel sad about your profession or a particular profession, go ahead and read about it on Reddit. Okay. So do not seek a lot of external validation for your job role. Okay. Others people's stories are different, their companies are different. Yes, you can learn from a lot from externalities, but you have to feel from inside whether you love doing this or not. Just hate something, don't just love something because other people love it or other people hate it. So I would not recommend someone to go ahead and do just choose something because groups tell you to choose it or not choose it. Don't lose objectivity in criticism. How to perform in product discovery, you have shared already, but like to see in-depth practical methodology. I have told you the breadth first approach. You can go into details of each and every aspect, such as user research, market research, data understanding, in order to go ahead and get a better understanding. Product market is saturated now. Companies are not hiring them. Product market is saturated, not companies are hiring or hiring pretty quickly. I'm talking to this US market of most in this industry. Okay, I am not sure if this is a fact or an opinion or if this is a question. Okay, I'm not able to understand if this is a fact or an opinion or if this is a question. I do not believe that product market is completely off right now. If there is one role that AI has given the most leverage to, that is PM. Because experimentation is easier, because building product is easier, because documentation is easier. Okay, you now, right now, have superpower as a PM. Go ahead and utilize this. As a beginner, learn product management, build a portfolio, build proof of work, reach out to companies. Give classes for analytics and tech for PM. That is there on our YouTube channel. You need to find this out. If you search for analytics for PM, tech for PM on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to find detailed videos. I'll see if in the end I can get some time. I will try to review this. Not right now. I am currently enrolled in a product management fellowship with a platform, constantly uploading my one-to-one app. Product university right now, how to increase availability of work. Do better work. The only way, understand, guys, these days content is a distribution. If you create some compelling work, people will find it on LinkedIn and they will share. Create work so that people would want to share it. They would want to talk about it. Just putting work on LinkedIn is not enough. Understand? I am also putting the same video on YouTube. Someone who has more followers is also putting the same video, and someone else is putting the same video. Okay. Someone who has the better content in their video is going to get more likes and more shares and more comments. Focus on creating better content. Forget about distribution right now. If you create more content on LinkedIn, LinkedIn enough has enough serendipity that you will get enough eyeballs. SQL is needed. I have told you that SQL is needed. As detailed as you can get into SQL. These days, it's not very difficult. High fidelity framework is just a matter of 2 or 4 hours. Go ahead and learn it. If you're already in low fidelity, upgrade yourself to high fidelity. Yes, in a PM interview, entry level role, I'm going to tell you in the next session on Saturday. Trainer graduate 2 years in industry, goes role for product manager, 2 year course, 5 years, take courses into a job. Kindly suggest how to proceed. Okay. First, go to 20 job listings, understand what product managers do. Then go ahead and maybe learn product management, build a portfolio and everything. All the other like suggestion that I've given for other people also remain the same for me. So I've made 4 or 5 case studies, 70 document products, sending cold emails to people that have made a session, not getting a response. I can a reason not getting a single callback from a response. Okay, so guys, understand if you're not getting response, solve this problem as a product manager. What would a product manager do? If you as a product manager are solving this problem that I'm creating a portfolio, but my portfolio is not getting shortlisted, people are not replying. Solve it as a product manager. First is what is the quality of your work? What is the quality of your work? Okay. If the quality is not up to the mark, people will not reply. Second is whom are you sending messages to? Third is what are you sending in these messages? Then when are you sending these messages? Then after that, how many people are you sending these messages to? Okay. Someone came to me and she told me that you told me to build a project for a company. I built that project and company has not replied. And in the 3 months, they have only built 12 things. And then I asked them that you have been there for 3 months. How many companies have you reached out to? And she told me that I've reached out to one company. Okay, understand? This is also a numbers game. You have to reach out to at least 20 companies with your custom work before calling it a quit. You have to reach out to 200, 300 companies with your resume and your portfolio before calling it a quit. So there could be multiple things. Observe this as a funnel and then try to find out where you are making the mistake. Hmm. Transitioning into this is done. Transition product role from sales, what challenges can you face by me and how to work? Okay. Simple challenge is your technical understanding. Simple challenge is your ability to understand data. Simple challenge is your ability to create strategy. Okay. Learn about these things. Data, strategy, and tech. If you can understand about this, people would be able to hire you. And we have enough resources on our YouTube channel to help you do the same. And also we have a couple of interviews from our alumni who are able to move from sales to PM and senior PMs. You can also watch them in order to understand their journeys. One I think is I'm forgetting the name. One is Mayank and another is Zubair. Fresh graduate this summer, don't have any work experience in product sales so far. I have participated in few competitions both inter and college, and I've held a position of responsibility. Will these help? Definitely, this these will help. These will help. Okay. If you have held positions of responsibility, articulate it better, build something, show your initiative, and then reach out to companies one by one. This will help you. How to prepare for an interview next class, how to create a good portfolio already covered in the last class, how to upskill an AI for product managers. I have already shared the link. How do you gather and validate user feedback? That I have shared in the first class. Okay. What books and podcast resource do you recommend? I will send it to you as a part of the resources. What common mistake that you see PMs make? Generally, jumping to solutions is the main common mistake. Generally, jumping to solutions, not spending enough time in order to understand the users, their problem, and the whole domain, and then only focusing on, let's say, building the things and not building the right things. Okay. And just give me one moment. My cat is getting impatient. Yes. Cool. How to, okay, I've already answered this. Jumping to solutions is the number one mistake that people make. Okay. I have posted on LinkedIn today. That's okay, guys. You can post whenever you want to. Just fill that form. We'll give you the certificate. What is the difference between product design and web design? Web design is a sub part of product design. Product is something that solves your problem. Okay. It could be a website, it could be an app, it could be a chatbot, it could be just a piece of document, it could be a laptop, it could be anything, right? Product design is a solution, design of a solution. Web design is one of the solutions. I'm coming from non-technical HL, currently managing to like Jira for a startup. Do you think essentially product manager likely to be a population? Yes, it's important because otherwise, how would you so if you're coming from a non-tech background, it becomes even more important for you to create a portfolio because otherwise, how are you going to showcase to people that you know product management? And product management is not only building products, it is able to understand why have you built a product? What is the problem behind the scene? So your research capabilities, your prototyping capabilities are actually focused in them. Okay, are showcased in the resume. So what expectations can one have for product as a career in terms of salary? Okay, I cannot promise this, but generally, we have done a research. Like so, last year, me and Akash Gupta have done a research on product management salaries in India, and we are able to see that product managers are paid pretty well. But understand there are not enough opportunities in product management. Okay, for every 5, 10, 20 engineers, we have one product manager. So if you're really passionate about it, if you're willing to walk the path less traveled, if you're willing to do hard work and all, then you can come. Generally, we have seen that it's very decent growth in terms of salary, in terms of designation, in terms of impact as a product manager. All of my friends, all of my mentees, they are happy with their career progression as a PM. Okay. And one more advice that many people think that getting into PM is a irreversible decision. Don't think that. If you are a techie right now, if you want to get into PM, go ahead and do it. You can always come back if you don't like it. Okay. Don't make these simple decisions of life as the most complicated decisions. It's not rocket science. Product management is not rocket science. If you can learn something in 6 months, that is not rocket science. Describe a time when you had to manage product launch. What step did you take to ensure a success? How do you handle conflict? Let's answer this in the next session. That is about product management interviews and behavioral interviews. Hmm. During a typical product interview, how many questions answer to be done in the next session? Waterfall depends on the companies. If it's already a set of requirements are frozen and it is okay that the requirements will not change, then you can go with waterfall. Otherwise, agile is a tool of the day. Is creating a mind map for product overly important? Can designers, developers use the information in PRD? Mind map should be contained in the PRD. Mind maps are easy to understand and visualize. They should be a part of PRD if you can. For deeper understanding of product and user pain points, what sites can we visit to conduct in-depth user research? I've already shared a list of website in the last session, which is this, right? This much information is good enough for you. Market research from a point of ambiguity. How do you fix that? Okay. Ambiguity get clears with every step. Okay. Ambiguity get clears with every step. When you start, you'll find a bit more ambiguous, but when you go ahead and dig into data, you will start creating these connections. Okay. And as you pursue it further, yes, you might be a bit more confused, but now you have more structured problems to solve. So tackle ambiguity with more research and more trees or more branches in your mind. Okay. I am SAP ABAP developer, but I had interest in this product management and it perfectly aligns with my potential. I would like to work more for the better outcome, but what are the possibilities of getting product management? What I did, should I mention my developer experience in my resume or not? Okay, you should never lie in your resume. Whatever you have done, you should definitely go ahead and mention it with 100% confidence. Okay, you can definitely become a product manager, but understand you have to have some transferable skills. Look at, create a document of your career that you have done so far, whatever the skill that you have acquired, and then go ahead and start talking to, let's say, start looking at job description for product managers, mark down the transferable skills. That will give you the confidence, and then that will also give you a pedestal to get the other required set of skills. Okay, so that is my suggestion. Possible, yes. Easy, no. Sir, on day one, you have asked what are the tools used by PM. Would you suggest tools that are not discussed in the session? Like I remember Jira, there were many tools said in the chat. Would you classify what main tools in the industry? One remain consistent upskilling as a PM. Okay. Uh, okay. I'll give you a list of tools, guys. Okay. So in one of the resources, I'll also give you a list of tools that you can use as a PM. Generally, there are three kinds of tools. One is the design tools such as Figma. Then there is the analytics tools such as Mixpanel, Google Analytics, SQL. Then there is project management tool, task management tools such as Jira or Asana. And then there are research tools such as ChatGPT, Google Keyword Research, Claude, DeepSeek, Napkin, etc. How can one remain consistent in upskilling as a PM? Okay, by setting up milestones. Don't just upskill for the sake of it. Set up some milestone that if I do this, I will be able to solve this. Okay, set up some milestone, do some project-based learning, pick up a project, try to go ahead and do it on your own. That will motivate you to research more and that will motivate you to be curious about the process. Justification of AI used in product development, how product managers can do this. Yes, you can use like if you're not using AI in your day-to-day work as a PM, you are losing out on a lot of opportunity. Okay, so AI is used and should be used in product management work, but don't outsource your brain to AI. What people do is initially it used to take me 10 hours to create a PRT. Okay, and I do used to do a lot of research. What you should do is you should use chat gpt in order to validate your prd, in order to structure your prd, but don't leave all the research to chat gpt. It will not give you all the right information. Okay, so there is an intelligent method to use chat gpt, and if you are just copying pasting content from chat gpt to your prd, maybe you're not doing the right job. Can you tell the salary scales of apms and pms in india? APM salaries are 12 to 20 lakh rupees in most of the companies. PM salaries are 15 to 55 lakh rupees in multiple companies. 15 to 55 and 10 and 12 to 20. Nothing related to the session. It has been rejected from few companies because of lack of domain expertise. Where should I change my PV points for every application? If you can do, but I have also told you today a method to get the domain matter expert, like not domain matter expertise, but domain matter understanding. Okay. Consider if some of you are getting rejected from so many jobs, my advice is take a step back. Try to understand what is wrong. Create the whole funnel. Understand all the variables. Is it the resume? Is it the experience? Is it how have you articulated your experience? Is it the portfolio? Is it whom you are reaching out to? Is it the company? Is it the timing? Is it what is it? Okay. Write all the variables and then try to take a step back, try to solve that problem, try to understand the problem and then solve it. Okay, don't get depressed. Look at it as an opportunity for problem solving. How do you decide which product company is best for a tear down project? You can choose any, guys. You can choose any. Okay. Choose something that is not very popular, because in popular products it's difficult to find some issues. Okay. You can choose, my advice is choose a new feature of an existing product. If there is an existing product, choose a new feature of that existing product, because there they have done some new research that will help you. And it is easy to find some issues in that because it's a new product, not finished. How important is doing an MBA for non-tech roles? How much is coding should be? I've already answered this. If you are looking to learn AI, not AI, tech as a product manager, just go to hellopm.co. In the drop down, you will see tech for product and business folks. Even if you don't want to take the program, at least go through the syllabus. This is everything that you need in order to excel as a non-tech person in a product manager, right? How much I've already answered this. How much is MBA for? MBA is not an eligibility criteria, but it definitely helps if you're doing it from a good college. How can I have foreign loads online from a location? No, there are not enough foreign roles that you can go ahead and get. So, uh, uh, not saying that it is impossible, but not practical for me to advise that you can go ahead and start looking for online remote roles, jobs from your company, from your country. Yes, this will be sent to your email. Is product management for someone from non-tech background like graphic designer? Also, there are age barriers for first-time PMs. Forget about age barrier, guys. Understand, whenever you are feeling thirsty and if you want to drink water, do you question where this water is coming from? If you are feeling, let's say, really thirsty, do you question where this water is coming from, who has brought this water, and so many other things? You go ahead and quench your thirst as soon as possible. Similarly, look at the perspective of a company. A company wants to hire PM so that you can go ahead and help them deliver better products which solve the problems of the user and also bring the business outcome and keep the company tied together. Okay. If you have these skills, other things will not matter. If you do not have these skills, other things will become an excuse to reject. Okay. So people from any background can transition into PM. Whether you should or not depends on your why. Why do you want to transition? Do you love being a PM or you hate being what you are right now? Sometimes we use old methods where any product is created in the system, but we are not doing any ideation. But to start from scratch, you will take time lost as part will not. So how can we make it easy? What? Sometimes we use old methods where any product is created in the system, but we are not doing any ideation. But to start from scratch, will time cost is well department. Okay. It depends on problem that you're solving. Some problems are ambiguous. You don't know what the problems are. So if you don't know what the problems are, and if you're creating the solutions, you are definitely going to go in the wrong direction. But if you already know what is the problem that you're solving, you have a complete clarity around the same. That means somebody else has done the research and validation for you. Then you can follow this process of just implementing the solution and not caring about the product as well. It happens in the service-based company where the client gives you the exact requirements. You just have to implement it. So you are more of a project manager rather than a product manager because you are not solving problems. You are just building products. How can I effectively communicate product management experience into especially in perspective and conventional and the current role, my down to execution initiative, doing market research? Cool. This I will answer in the next session, which is around product management interviews. Let's say we have put up a project. What is the best way to make visible to potential hiring person? Everything that you can do, cold emails, LinkedIn, making it rank on Google, putting it on multiple forums, everything that you can do. Okay, but track what you are doing. Generally, what people do is they just send two cold emails to someone and they think it's enough. No, you have to do it continuously. Reaching out is like bathing. You have to have it every day. What should be a daily operational plan to become a PM? Your daily operational, I cannot go ahead and give you, but I can give you one thing. Just give me a moment. So very recently, I have created this plan, like a 30-day plan to become a PM. Let me go ahead and see if I have this for you. Yes, 30 days, 30 hours. Pretty popular on LinkedIn. Let me share it with you guys. I have shared the link in the chat. People who are watching on YouTube, they will also get it in the description maybe by tomorrow, in one day. So in this, I have mentioned how can you plan your next 30 days in order to become a product manager. Yeah, this seems like a very popular thing now. Yes, I think more than 1,11,000 people have seen this. Yes, so this was a popular one. Yes, cool. You guys can grab this. This is free. Hi, Ankit. As a product manager who loves to take on interesting projects and complex challenges, what you should learn to be a good product manager? Okay, so you are already a product manager. I would say learn AI prototyping. That's a new skill these days, and that is also not a lot of people have. So build products, learn AI prototyping. That is like a cool skill to have these days. Fundamental skills such as problem solving, user empathy are also important. But if you are looking for a new skill, then I would say AI prototyping. What makes a candidate memorable in a PM interview roles? How they prepare stories that reflect. Okay, relevance. In the next session, I'm going to give you a framework called as MERI framework. Okay, where we will go ahead and help you understand how to make yourself more relevant and what are the skills to look out. Okay, now the last question. If a professional with 5 years of experience, if a professional with 5 years of experience on your product role case study is being asked for or not, if yes, then what's the level? Okay, case studies can be asked. Case studies can be asked. It's not very uncommon for people to ask case studies. If you are transitioning, then there are highly likely chances that product case studies might be asked. What is level? Do your best level. Understand, getting your case study shortlisted in an interview is a race. If you decide that your level is level 2 out of level 5, if someone else does level 3 or level 4, you are going to get lost. So do your best level. That is my advice for you. Okay. So with that, we have done all the 198 questions that you guys have asked. Some were blank, so that's okay. I think 150, 170 questions we have done. Okay. We generally talk about how to transition into PM. Okay. This was a very repeated question. So I'll again, in the end, also answer this question once again for everyone who is there in the session. Number one is understand the role. How do you understand the role? Number one part is look at least 20 job descriptions for PMs on LinkedIn or Naukri, any other website. Second is look at the HelloPM curriculum. No matter you want to do the program or not, but at least look at the curriculum to understand what you need to learn. Second is acquire skills. Third is go ahead and build, practice. In the last session, I have told you about how to build your proof of work. And the fourth part is reach out. How do you reach out? The three bucket approach. First is zero thing is create a well articulated resume and a well articulated portfolio. If you are not from PM domain, then portfolio is very important. If you are from PM domain, then maybe resume is very important. Okay. Highlight everything that you can. In the next session, I'll also give you a brief about how to make a better resume. Then the three bucket approaches. Once you have a good resume, create your account on at least on 10 major job listing websites, including Google Jobs, LinkedIn, Naukri, and all. And then start, like, there is a option on most of these websites called as email alert, so that you do not miss on any job that is coming. And every day, if you are aggressively looking for a job every day, and if you're not aggressively looking at least once in a week, look out for the jobs for at least 1 hour and create a list of jobs that are available. Okay. And then apply through your resume. If you can tweak it for as per the job description, that's okay. But otherwise, it's also okay. Second part is once you have gone ahead, second part is once you have gone ahead and started getting the job descriptions, choose maybe 20% of these jobs. This is 100% of jobs. Out of this, choose 20% where you are going to write a cover letter. And here you have to write that this is who I am, this is the job that I have seen, and I believe I am a good fit for this role because of these three reasons. Do this, and your question will be answered. Okay, you might be able to get better response rates. And C is maybe the 5% of the companies where you believe you have better chances. So what you will do is just go ahead. Imagine that if you were the product manager at that company, what you would do in the first 6 or 10 months in order to become really a rock star at that company. Understand it, do the research, build a case study, and send it to multiple people in the company. If you do this, there is a very high probability chance that you will become a good product manager. You will be able to get into product management role. Okay. But understand, this does not work out if you do this. This does not work out if you don't do this. This does not work out if you don't do this. So follow the steps in a method. And then once you are building your portfolio, you think that you are not able to understand something, you should again go back to acquiring the skills. Okay. And the second common question was, I am applying at multiple jobs, but no one is selecting me. So understand, you have to look at this problem as a product manager, create the whole funnel. Whether the problem is my resume, is it in the job description, is it in my alignment with the resume, is it with my portfolio, is it with my approach, is it with the person that I'm reaching out to, or the industry stack. Okay. So these are the two common questions. If you guys are interested in the HelloPM program, just go to hellopm.co. You should be able to get all the questions answered. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and stop the session now. I think we have taken what? Okay, so we have been doing this for 3.5 hours now. Cool, great. Great, guys. We have answered all the questions. I hope you got the value. Now tell me in the chat, everyone, if your questions were answered. Tell me, yes, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5, guys, if you are able to find the session helpful. Wonderful. Great, guys. Cool. Amazing, guys. Thank you. Take care. You have been a great audience. And we'll see each other very soon. The next session is on Saturday. So we'll go ahead and talk about how to crack PM interviews. Okay. The link to the case study, we are going to in the groups and in the email, like in the WhatsApp groups and in the on your emails which you have registered with Summer of Product, you will get the case study link. If someone is watching this on YouTube, you are going to get all the details, all the description, case study context, all the resources that I've talked about in the description. So make sure that you also check the description of this video. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care. You have been a great audience, and say bye with my cat as well. She came on the right time. Thank you, guys. Bye.